Not interested.
99 on Thursday, huh?
Not interested in that.
No.
Not interested.
96 on Friday.
Not much better.
86 for the 4th.
That's nice.
Yeah, but rain. Chance of rain. Chance of rain
you know
all
what?
week. It's so humid.
They have to fix that app because they're like, oh, rain. And then you look and it's going to rain 0.05 inches at 11 p.m. And it's like, they got to fix that.
Well, how do you propose they fix it?
Just don't put the rain on there. You know, it's got to be a rain day.
Well, hold on. I mean, if it's going to rain a little bit, don't you need to know that for
People
your plans?
are canceling plans. They're like, oh, we can't do it Friday. It's going to rain. And then you look, and it's 11 p.m. You're getting a dribble drabble.
Just watch Eric Fisher.
Right.
Watch Wonka.
Right. I agree.
You know?
The robots are not ready to take over.
No, you don't say, huh?
No, not ready. Smarter than the robots still.
I still don't think it's that hard.
No.
I had a moment last night where somebody was trying to reveal something to us, something fun and exciting. And they did kind of like a coded, be sure to drink your Ovaltine kind of thing.
Okay.
But they did use AI to put the letters associated with the numbers so you could decode the message.
Okay.
Yeah, it
wasn't that hard.
Didn't go so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the surprise?
Well, I mean, I shouldn't say.
Okay. Fair enough.
But it's a personal thing. It's very good.
Yeah, all right.
It's very good.
Okay.
You know?
Nice.
Very good.
I have to tell you off the top, you're getting me at my most self-conscious.
Why is that?
You're getting me straight from baseball, right off the baseball field.
Oh, how'd that go?
Well, I was able to sneak in an extra at bat before I left, and the umpire rung me up on a pitch a foot inside. But other than that, it was nice. But so I did like the car shower, and I'm self-conscious that I'm gonna pass on a smell, and I sprayed as much as I can. You just gotta let me know. I'll go in like the production room. Maybe that'll work.
Dude, you're sitting in the Zolak chair. There's nothing you can possibly do in that chair that would offend me at this point.
Thank you, because I am self-conscious. That does help. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I'm here to support you, Hurley. We found gum. Maz found gum underneath the keyboard the other day.
Well, where else? There's a trash here. Because I don't even have to move to throw it away. But it's kind of I got to reach. The keyboard's right here. I'm with Zoe on that one. What else we got? What? Fingernails?
Oh, I mean always fingernails, toenails, you name it.
This keyboard looks pristine. I'll be honest.
It might be new.
Might be brand new.
Might have been replaced over
this morning.
There's no way that keyboard is actually pristine if he's ever sat there.
The last one had about 2.5 cups of coffee in it. So
that's a good point.
It was due to be switched out.
They don't like that.
You know why it's pristine? I was sitting there Friday morning, not Zoe.
There you go.
Dangerous move, by the way. You never, and I did it for our friends at NBC Sports Boston because they expect the number 2 person on the show to be sitting there. Mm-hmm. I mean, it affects them. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like Tessio. It affects all their arrangements. Changes all.
How can we have a program if the 2 person sits on the right and the 1 sits on the left?
You know, the initial idea.
Cats and dogs living together.
This is inside radio.
Yeah,
you ready
yeah.
for this? The initial idea for this studio. Because I did the first ever TV show in this studio in 2018 or whenever it was.
In Dorchester?
Actually, it would have been in Dorchester because it's the exact same alignment in here. The initial idea was that the one chair, the Felger Bertrand chair, would actually be the Tim McCone Jim Murray chair over there.
So you're like the maestro, sort of.
Yeah. I don't really know what. And
well, they say the mob boss always wants to be able to see the door.
That's a good point.
You don't want to have your back to
But
the
in
door.
radio, I think you'd want to see the producer.
Nah.
Because I sit there and I feel like I'm the rudest guy in the world because I'm just straight back to like Jimmy or whoever's in there. It's like, well, I feel rude.
Yeah. It's a lot of bald head facing Jimmy when it comes to me, you know, and it's just, it's not good. No, you're right. You can't make contact with the eye contact with the producer. I mean, if Ryan Garvin is saying, sweet Jesus, dude, wrap this segment up. Like, this is painful. We got to go.
That sounds like me.
Yeah,
Hurley smells awful. We got to get him out of here.
Right, like just boom. You know, we can get the look from Garvin. You can't get that here. But not to take credit for something that I definitely was responsible for. Mm-hmm. Day one, Felger's late coming back from Nantucket. And I said, why would I sit here? Why don't we just sit here, 1, 2, and we'll leave Felger's chair here when he gets here? Sure enough, you know, the giant 98.5 logo in the background. I'm like, that would be a nice TV shot.
Wow.
And then it never changed. Right after that.
You've got the eye.
This is my contribution to the station.
Do you know the only time I would say, no one asked my opinion, the only time I say it's a little tough is when like Bedard or Perillo's in here between them. Like it's like a Felger and Maz sandwich. I feel bad for whoever's because you're just sort of you're in the hot seat.
I would agree with
It's
that.
the hot seat, and I guess also the kid's seat too, because that chair always seems to be a little bit lower than everybody else's.
That's like Kraft, Robert
Yeah,
Kraft,
right.
with the elevation chair in his booth. You know,
Like, I know B-Robb. He's not that short. I know Alex Barth. He's not that short. What is happening?
No, actually, Felger's right there taking the air out of the seat. You know, like it's Barth, all they line up appropriately, and then Felger just reaches under and no, I must be taller. I must make that happen. How are you, Hurley?
I'm
Everything
great.
good?
Everything's great. Happy to be here.
How'd you hit him today? Yeah, I mean, you got rung up. You got screwed by the umpire.
First at bat, 2-0 count. I convinced myself I was going to get a great one to hit,
Yeah.
and he gave me this slider down in a way I rolled over it, grounded out, ended the inning. Loser behavior by
Sure,
me.
yeah.
So I'm ready to make up for it. I get 3-1 pitch, I follow it off, and then I take ball 4 because I'm a responsible hitter. I'm not going to swing at a pitch that almost hit my knee.
Right, but it was a strike.
I was like, oh god, now I got to get in the car and wipe myself off. It was a frustrating. And no game next week. That's 2 weeks I got to think about that strikeout. And you know what, Matt McCarthy, had someone been next to the dugout shouting my 198 batting average at me, I would have been like, fair enough. I wouldn't have started a fight and have to get carried down the hallway and then been a weirdo in front of the reporters.
Is that what started it? I was trying so desperately to figure out.
I'm basing that off a tweet reply, so
Okay.
verification has not been complete. But what, at this point, you're Jaron Duran, everything's been yelled at you. There's really nothing outside of obviously crossing a line personally, but if someone's just heckling you because you're hitting 198 or whatever it may be, or you made an out, buddy, it's literally the big leagues.
Yeah, Matt, pretend I didn't watch the Red Sox game last night. Just hypothetically, I didn't
Sure.
watch. What are Michael and I talking about right now? What is this topic that we're kind of like hovering over, but we're not really?
Oh, no, let's go right at it. Jaron Duran is a loser. Again. This is who he is.
Nothing happened.
No, I mean, he said nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Just another incident with a fan. Let me say this. I know there have been some fans who have said horrible things to Jaron Duran.
Yes.
Undeniably, there have been fans who have said horrible things to Jaron Duran. I also know there have been fans who have said completely innocuous things to Jaron Duran, and he has reacted in ways that he shouldn't. So, in the end, what's the one constant throughout all of this?
Number
Michael
16.
Hurley?
Number
Yeah.
16.
Yeah, Jaron Duran, who in the end, and you might think this is harsh, can't handle it.
Yeah.
He can't handle it. And I'm not saying that to, criticize the person that he is or what. It's just a fact. Jaron Duran can't handle it. In the end, Duran is going to, whether you say something bad to him or not, he's going to hear you. He hears you more than just about anybody else. You go to a ballpark, people say things. Sometimes they cross the line, sometimes they don't. I'm not here to defend or justify any of the things said that cross the
Well,
line.
no, let's even take it further. If you're heckling athletes, usually you're a loser too.
Yeah, no doubt.
And as a big leaguer, you've got to be like, well, a loser's yelling at me. What are you going to do about it?
In the end, the world is filled with losers. And you know who one of those losers is? Jaron Duran. Can't hit, can't field, can't play, can't get out of his own way.
You didn't like that play you made in Colorado the other night?
He sucks, okay? And should he suck? No, because he has a hell of a lot more ability than he's shown in the last year and a half. But you know who will never have a season like he had in 2024 ever again? Ever again?
Number 16.
Jaron Duran.
Is he number 16, by the way?
He is. You know why? Because he can't get himself into the appropriate mind space to block it all out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a part of the job. Should it be a part of the job? In some ways, yes. Some ways, no. Should you have to block out everything that every fan says to you? No. Do I wish that on any athlete? No. But the issue with Duran is he can't block out the failure more than anything else, which is why when somebody yells at him to go get a tennis racket, he hears them and he responds.
Well,
you know why?
That one was over the line. I
Oh,
mean,
the
that's
tennis racket?
That, you
Oh, yeah.
can't.
No, you
that
can't.
is
You
that
can't.
crosses a line that no man can let
Well,
slide.
I thought we had a rule: we can't cross sports.
That's what it is. He's a big Felger and Maz. He follows the Felger and Maz doctrine to a T. So you can't hit a baseball with a tennis racket, sir. He had to say something.
Well, and this is what he said after the game. This is Jaron Duran after yet another fan incident. Hey, Jaron, what happened, dude?
Jaron, obviously there was that exchange with the fan. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
You guys were
Nothing happened.
frustrated over something chirping-wise?
Nope, nothing happened.
All right, thank you.
Liar.
After the
liar.
manager said something happened.
Yeah, liar. And listen, in the end, I don't care that Jarren Duran lied to the media. I care that once again, this is yet another sign of who he is. And it's time to stop babying Jarren Duran in this town, because there's a section of fans that do baby Jarren Duran. It's not going to help the Boston Red Sox. This guy sticking around is not going to help the Boston Red Sox. He's not a good player on the field, and one of the reasons why he's not a good player on the field is because he hears everything that people say to him from off the field. This is who he is, and you cannot count on him. You want to build a winning baseball team? You want to build a winning culture? Jarren Duran will never be a part of that, ever. And I've heard from, and there's a section of fans who defend Duran. And they say, well, he's an important guy in that clubhouse. He's a leader. If Jarren Duran's your leader,
that's not at all what I thought.
You're not going anywhere.
I
What
did
do you
not.
think?
I did not think that would be the defense of him, because even to be completely objective, like when I saw this was kind of like, all right, I can't back this anymore. I can empathize with him being, how do I put this, emotionally complicated, not really being able to work through stuff. I can get that to a point. I can commend him for being transparent with the issues that he has been dealing with, but I am also not going to allow a person to use that as a shield for really lousy behavior on the field and also in the clubhouse, because I go back to, I mean, this is just another example, but when they fired Alex Cora and they wanted comments from people, and Trevor Story was like, rocking back and forth in the fetal position, the next person they went to was Jarren Duran. He waved everybody off and left it to Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer, whose job it is absolutely not to answer for why your manager got fired. So this whole lack of accountability thing with him, it's kind of worn thin. So when you said there's a section of people that defend him, I didn't know that we're actually still defending him from a baseball standpoint. He's hitting 198, and he was hot. That's the thing. He had a nice couple of weeks there where he was hitting.
The whole month of May, I'm pretty sure he was red hot.
Yeah, because that's who he is.
One of those.
Guys, that's who he is. He's going to get red hot every once in a while when things are going good. But, Hurley, you can speak to this better than anybody, because you were also apparently batting something close to 198.
I was hitting 700 going into today.
He also runs like he's angry at the ground, though.
Yeah. Can I actually, do you still have that clip of Duran? Because actually, this is interesting. He was asked specifically, I'm doing some yellow journalism, don't mind.
Okay.
He was asked, what happened? What did the fan in Minnesota say to you that time you lashed out and had to get carried off the field?
Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Right.
He finally came clean. He finally admitted nothing happened in Minnesota. So it's one of those things. At a certain point, if this were a normal job, they'd be like, "Listen, we have to fire you. You have to keep getting physically removed
Restrained
from fighting people at work, paying customers that are coming to see a baseball game. You can't be being. We have to stop restraining you from attacking them. So you're fired. So that's at this point where whatever the trade deadline." He seems like someone who's baseball-wise, obviously bad, but just a bad culture fit. If the point you just made, send the rookies out there to talk about the fired manager when you're one of the very
maddening, absolutely maddening.
You're one of the few people that actually played for Cora for multiple years on this team. It's time to go, and I don't think it matters what you get back at this point.
I couldn't agree more. Listen, they missed their opportunity, and Mark Feinsand reported about a week ago at this point that the Red Sox are hoping to hold on to Duran. He believes their plan will be hold on to Duran in the second half, hope he gets hot, so then they can turn him into something this offseason. Guys, addition by subtraction at this point. Enough is enough. You missed your opportunity 2 years ago. Cut your losses. You are better off without Jarren Duran. Will he have a hot month or two where he's one of the better players in baseball? Yes. You know what he won't do consistently over the course of a full season at this point? Be one of the better players in baseball, because he can't get out of his own way.
He could. Objectively, I think a change of scenery would be good for him on so many levels, and then maybe he starts to figure some things out and
go to Miami.
Starts to hit 230. I mean, San Diego's been after him for years now, apparently. I think, the nice weather in California might do him some good. But as you were saying, you brought up the Minnesota thing, which, as far as I know, we haven't found
nothing happened.
Nothing
happened.
Guys, they play what? On average, 10 to 12 games in Major League Baseball a day.
Yep.
How often are we hearing about fan incidents with players? The only other one I can think of off the top of my head happened with Ketel Marte about a month ago. Other than that, it's all Jaren Duran. And look, maybe I'm missing some, but they play every single day all across the country. Millions and millions of people are chirping baseball players every single day throughout the summer. And I don't know anybody else in baseball with the amount of repeat offenses like Jaren Duran has.
Yeah, because he's the problem in the end. And Ryan, I like the way you put it. It's like you can empathize. Yes, I'm going to emphasize how he shouldn't be here anymore. I will empathize with Jaren Duran and the stuff he's gone through and undeniably the mental health challenges he's dealt with. But you can't keep letting him get away with it just because he's had struggles.
Yeah, he can't weaponize it.
And I think
you can't say, hey, you can't come at me. I've dealt with this, and it's like, dude, we are very understanding of that. This is not that. This is not that. You have, ready? 614. Do you know what number that is?
That's his OPS?
That's his OPS. Do you know who that's worse than?
Just about everybody except for Marcelo Meyer, probably.
Caleb Durbin with a towering 667 over him.
Guy's red hot.
Masa Yoshida with a 671. How about this one? Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is over 700. He's at 705, and you have
Babe Ruth compared to Jaren Duran.
Jaren Duran down at 614. He's looking up at Nick Sogard with his 721 OPS.
Yeah, he sucks. And he's sucked for a year and a half.
Connor Wong, who didn't hit a home run for 15 years, has a 758 OPS.
And you know what? He sucked for a lot of his big league career because he can't get out of his own way. 2024 was tantalizing. Parts of 2023 were tantalizing. He is a great talent, and he's never going to put it together because he can't get out of his own way. I feel badly for him. I wish that weren't the case. I really do. I feel badly for him. But to your point, Hurley, we have gotten to the point here, and listen, there are people like this in all walks of life where they have legitimate, bona fide struggles that break your heart, but they start weaponizing it against you. Mm-hmm. And that's what Jaren Duran has done to the organization, the fan base, and all of us. The Minnesota incident, and I mean, Jim Murray has the line, Jaren Smollett. Like, it is... We still haven't found the audio. We still haven't found what exactly happened. Well, and there's a lot of speculation that he may have just said that just to get out of it kind of thing.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but to piggyback on that point, Matt, do you remember how different the incident in Cleveland looked?
Yes.
It was like, that looked like a war. That looked like a bunch of people in the stands, on the field.
Get that guy out of here.
That's the guy.
Get him out of here. Yeah.
XYZ, he has to go. And that was the one, it was like, oh, okay. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it looks like.
That was a 1,000% legit incident, and nobody can stand for it. I mean, there were players pointing at it, there were fans pointing at it and be like,
right,
that's the dude, get him out of here. We can't have that. We don't stand for that.
In Minnesota, there were literally, you might remember that series,
7 people in the stands?
Maybe 17 people in all of Target Field. And anything said, and it was right next to the dugout, allegedly, where there are cameras, where there are microphones, where there are boom mics.
The Cleveland broadcast had the whole incident.
Yeah, the Cleveland thing was legit. This yesterday, and then to come out, an hour later, and just to be an a-hole to the reporters, why? Like, at a certain point, that's where you have to show maturity and be an adult and be like, you know what, I messed up. At least that would be something. But nothing happened.
He is who he is at this point, and it will be addition by subtraction when he gets out of here. He's not a very good baseball player anymore. Which is sad. He should be better than this, and you can't have this in the clubhouse. You're trying to establish a winning culture. They obviously have not. And one of the reasons you have not is because you have figures like Jaren Duran in the clubhouse. You want to bring up Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer in this environment? You really want to do that?
No, and you could throw it, or you could compare.
They have been, though.
Well, right.
They literally have been bringing up those two in this environment.
So changes have to be made. And I don't care what you get for Duran at this point. And to your point, Garvin, it'll be better for him. You want to do right by Jaren Duran, get him the hell out of Boston.
I think he needs it.
Get it. It's not going to happen here. Just admit it. And you're not going to get anything for him. Cut your losses. You'll be okay. Addition by subtraction with that guy. 617-779-0985. We'll start there. Meanwhile, Breslow Magic is underway. I don't know. I mean, they're starting to stack wins. Have you paid attention to that?
Yeah, they're red hot. I don't know if you know this. 3 games is a winning streak.
That is.
3 games is a winning streak.
I mean, they're about to go on a Moneyball type streak.
You got World
Joe
Series
Morgan,
fever over there?
Oh, sure do. There should be buyers at the deadline. They've turned it around, baby.
Get like 3 or 4 bats in here. You're cooking.
Joe Morgan's still with us? I think he is.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Walpole Joe.
Walpole Joe. And it was just, even as of a few years ago, you could still go down to one of the coffee shops there. You'd find Joe Morgan in the morning, and there you go.
95 years young.
He's the man. He's a legend. We got some Morgan magic on our hands, baby. 3 in a row. It's happening.
The Yankees.
We'll get into that
The Yankees.
on the other side.
How are they good, Matt?
They're not. They're really not. We'll continue. Matt McCarthy, Mike Hurley, hanging out.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Does your home need a new roof? Get a free estimate today from Connell Roofing, the leading Massachusetts roofing company. Book your estimate today. Head to Connell.
It's the Mafre feeling. Visit MafreInsurance.com. That's MAPFRE Insurance.com.
Here in Massachusetts, 1 in 10 people have unclaimed property from things like uncashed paychecks, refunds from overpaid bills, forgotten savings accounts, or even stock certificates. The Massachusetts
Woo Sox, great. The Woo Sox are carrying the Red Sox this weekend. You got Nate Eaton up here. You got Anthony Siegler. Sung Chae Chang is up here. Jake Bennett, who, by the way, is not getting the buzz that he deserves. You want to talk about something really positive? If we rip Breslow, we should rip Breslow. The pitching stuff is legit. It's pretty good. Trading Luis Perales for Jake Bennett was a good trade. Jake Bennett's going to be a good pitcher. I've seen him a number of times in Worcester this year. Love him. Love the poise. The stuff isn't all time, but he knows how to pitch. He generates weak contact. He's generating more swing and miss than I thought at the big league level. And they've got something here. It's a left-handed pitcher like every single one of them. But, I mean, he's been really good since he's got a 3 ERA in, 5-6 starts?
Six starts
at this point.
3.27, a 106 whip. Striking guys out, not walking many. He's been good. And it's of the many strange things of this season, by far, I would say the strangest is that the Cy Young runner-up has been missing since April 25th.
And they haven't missed him.
You literally don't, and that's no insult to Garrett Crochet. It's just literally how good they've been pitching. At no point are you like, man, if they had Crochet, nothing would have changed, really. They've been pitching so well. It's outrageous how well they pitch. And that's the thing with Breslow. You almost wish you could keep him as sort of what he was in Chicago, like the pitching game coordinator. He's clearly pretty good at building a pitching staff. You have to give him credit. This is a top-tier pitching staff, one of the best in the league. Doesn't get you much in 2026, though.
No, it certainly does not, because the game is different now than it once was. And I mean, I've had to come around to this, Hurley. It's pitching wins championships. And the answer, of course, is still yes, obviously yes, but there's more pitching than ever before in the game. Tyron Guerrero, who's 35 years old and you got him off the scrap heap, is throwing 102 miles an hour out of the bullpen.
And is sneaky becoming more trusted than maybe Slayton or even Whitlock in some cases. They're like, you go to Guerrero here. Go to the gas.
Because everybody has stuff. Every single pitcher in the game has stuff at this point. I mean, Jake Bennett is the definition of not having stuff, and his stuff's fine. I mean, 15 years ago, you'd say, man, lefty, that's pretty good stuff. 20 years ago, that's pretty good stuff. You wouldn't, it's not Randy Johnson, but it is what it is. I think to your point, though, Hurley, it's like, you look at it, everybody can kind of pitch in baseball now. Just about anybody, you got a million guys throwing gas. Everybody has stuff. It's about finding the hitters in the game who can hit that stuff, and that is increasingly rare. You still don't necessarily hit your way to championships. You will always pitch your way to championships, but if you look at the top contracts around baseball, almost none of them are pitchers. Now, you would say there's a reason for that. It's, you don't want to pay pitchers because they're so injury prone, but they're also kind of a dime a dozen at this point. You can always find a guy. Unless you're Chaim Bloom, then you can't find a guy, and then it's the Kyle Bearclaws of the world getting trotted out there for 4 years. So, let's not get too extreme about it, but it's harder to find an impact hitter in baseball in 2026 than it is to find an impact pitcher. It's the way it is.
And Craig Breslow did that. Your first baseman. It's funny how many moves you can get right and still have a bad baseball team. And I think that's where you're at.
Oh, yeah. In a vacuum, and I've been on this for weeks, Hurley. Wilson Contreras. Let's grade out the move. What would you say, Wilson Contreras?
Was that Fitz or was that
I know
the other one?
The point is, it doesn't matter.
It was an A+.
Do you remember, Garvin?
There was something called Brandon Clark.
Oh, yeah.
And there was someone else.
They had Fitz in the other one that was Fitz. They're the same guy. Two pitchers.
That was Dick Fitz. Dick Fitz went and won, and Hunter Dobbins went.
Dobbins, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, either way, both of those trades, A+.
Yep.
But with an asterisk, you were working with Chaim Bloom, so.
Who loves giving away good baseball players.
Sorry, I think Clark was in the Sonny Gray. Hunter Dobbins, Yoiker Fajardo?
Huh?
Fajardo, and Blake Ayeta.
Good trade.
Yep, great trade. You just need to purge the St. Louis Cardinals of all their good baseball players, because Chaim Bloom will happily give them away. He hates good baseball players. I'm not a fan of them. But
that team's also 4 games over 500.
I know. That's also the Chaim Bloom experience. you will look at it at the end and say, how is this team? I mean, let's be honest, the Red Sox under Bloom, for the most part, they collapsed at the end of seasons after the trading deadline because he did nothing and guys gave up. But they were always like, oh, you're 2 games above 500, you're in the playoff race. That's the Chaim Bloom experience. We live that here. The Craig Breslow experience is obviously something way more up and way more down. You make the playoffs one year, you are the worst team in baseball the next.
Well, that's why I want to ask you this question, because 2 in a row, I don't think anyone's asking. 3 in a row, still probably not real. Let's say they sweep tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Murray brought this up yesterday. They won 10 in a row last year, starting July 4th. They went from 3 games under to 8 games over, or something to that effect. Don't check my math.
Yeah.
Maybe they won 10 in a row. Whatever.
Right.
They went from a bad team to a playoff team in a 10-day span. Is that a concern of yours right now? Considering it felt like when the Rosenthal article hit Friday,
Yep.
a matter of time, when it's just a matter of when, where, and how Craig Breslow's reign would end. Do you think, with how desperate this team is just to be like, oh, we're a playoff team, even though you're not.
Right.
Do you think a couple good weeks here alters that, gets a stay of execution, whatever you want to call it, with the Craig Breslow era?
So, and basically your question is, am I concerned that the Red Sox are going to start winning baseball games?
Yeah.
No, I'm not concerned that the Red Sox are going to start winning baseball games. I do think this series has a lot to do with the Yankees, more so than the Red Sox. They are missing Aaron Judge. They made 4 errors Thursday night. That
doesn't count the pop-up they didn't catch either.
Right. This is more about the Yankees this weekend series than it is about the Red Sox.
Okay, but then they get the Nationals. They're pretty bad. They could beat that. They could win that series. Then they get the Angels, the worst team in the American League.
Yep.
They very theoretically, let's say they lose tonight. Mm-hmm. Let's say they win 2 or 3 in Washington, 2 or 3 at the Angels. You're still 6.5 under 500. But we're thinking rationally. Are they going to be thinking rationally? Are they going to say, here we are, it's July, we made our move,
and we're 4 games out of the final wild card spot?
Yep.
Yeah, we have 7 teams in front of us, but we're 4 games out.
Currently 5 games out. So you have that strong week. Let's say you win 4 of the next 6 after this. Maybe that number's down to 3. Maybe it's down to 2.5. And again, there's a ton of teams there. You know where I stand. I know where you stand. Mm. Are you worried that their stance is changed in the first few weeks of July?
No, I'm not. First and foremost, the team will fix that problem for us because
that's a good point.
They're not going to win 2 out of 3 against the Angels. They're not going to win 2 out of 3 against the Nationals.
Well, because right before this Yankee series, if I'm not mistaken, they played the Colorado Rockies,
who are
very bad baseball
very
team.
bad.
Beat them.
We're
twice.
worse. The Red Sox are worse. They're very bad.
It was a rock fight between the 2 worst teams, and the Red Sox emerged victorious as the worst team.
They bludgeoned. They bludgeoned the Rockies in that rock fight. Listen, they're having a good weekend, and admittedly, it's felt nice. Anytime you beat the Yankees, it's good.
They got that run differential to +4 now.
No, a +4 run differential.
Only 2 teams in the American League in green. Literally, it's the Yankees and Red Sox. Nobody else has
Tampa.
a positive run differential.
Yeah.
Tampa has one, too.
Fair enough. All right, I was in the wild card standings.
And
okay.
Chicago.
All right, all your division winners
And
have
Seattle.
it. Only in the best of the rest.
The Tigers have a good day. They'll be over.
+4,
+4,
you're in first place in the AL West. The Mariners are +5.
You know what stat I hate? Run differential.
Yeah, because you could win a game 13-0.
You know why the Red Sox don't have a good run differential? It's because they pitch well.
Yeah.
Yeah, run differential really is just, do you eliminate big time games? Yeah, the Red Sox are going to, how many games the Red Sox lose where they give up 11 runs?
I can tell you.
Or how many games the Red Sox win
1.
where they score 11 runs?
They've given up 10 runs 3 times this year.
It never happens.
Yeah.
Ever.
You mentioned Kyle Barraclough. You don't have that go out there and wear it for 6 hours.
Run differential is the most overrated statistic in baseball.
And you also have the Alex Cora grand finale. They won 17-1 that day. That's +16 in the books there. You won 10-3 at Detroit one day. So it's like just in 2 games you can alter the whole
How
thing.
many of those were off of position players?
Right.
Though?
It's too easily affected by blowouts. The Red Sox are not built for blowout baseball in either way because they pitch well enough and they don't hit. So, run differential, that's great. Well, you got a +60 run differential. Yeah, well, how many of those +60, how many close games are you playing and what are you in those close games? The Red Sox play a ton of close games. They never win them because they can't score. They can't hit. So run differential is a completely irrelevant statistic to me.
To play the game a little bit. So, Matt, you were talking about how, like, this thought just came to me. Like, Worcester is carrying the Red Sox right now. And I agree. I think that, this team going on a streak here and maybe changing some minds might not be so good for the team. But is there a chance that you've got all this fresh, new, young energy in your clubhouse? Roman Anthony's not around. We don't have Marcelo Meyer around sulking and pouting. Jaron Duran, I'd be surprised if he was in the lineup today. We'll see. But Anthony Sigler is like the happiest man in Boston yesterday after this game. And you got all the Jake Bennett going out there performing. Peyton Tolley just seems like he idles at like joy. Is there a chance that like you start getting rid of some of these malcontents, or at least, put them in the corner for a while, and then the energy kind of changes within the clubhouse and maybe they start to rattle off a couple wins they have no business getting?
Dude, no doubt. I mean, that's the story of a baseball season. A baseball season is going to ebb and flow. I'd also, point to, say, Worcester a few weeks ago. It's like when they started calling up the Mickey Gaspers and the Nick Sogards of the world. The Woo Sox had the best record in the International League. Then all of a sudden they start struggling. You know why? Because everybody's up here, right? You get Brian Bayo.
You got Bayo.
Everybody else goes up. There are, a baseball season is 162 games, and there are so many different moments within those 162 games where you're firing on all cylinders, you're not firing on all cylinders, you got to get through it. And yeah, there are going to be moments where you get some energy by an influx of new players, whether or not they're actually good players or not. It can just change things. It can change the mix. It can change the clubhouse. It can change the energy. So as they move some of these veterans out here, as hopefully they move guys like Jaron Duran off of the roster, Marcelo Meyer isn't bringing his crap to the clubhouse every day, because obviously we all read that hit piece yesterday. I mean, Marcelo Meyer isn't withdrawing when he struggles. You replace him with an energy guy like Anthony Sigler or an energy guy like Nick Sogard. Are you going to get a little bump in that stretch where you also catch the Yankees when they're down because Judge you know what I mean? Like, yes, that is going to happen. They will have some stretches where they will play better baseball. That is what a baseball season is. That does not mean that they're going to turn it around.
Well, does it trick this front office? Or I don't even know if trick is the right word. I would like to think that they are very pragmatic behind closed doors about what this season is. I really, really hope that they don't look at this and go, ooh, we're competing with the Yankees right now.
No, I think the most telling thing we've heard from this ownership group was the infamous night at Red Sox Winter Weekend 4 years ago, whenever it was, when they took the stage, got booed mercilessly by fans who paid to go there and see their favorite team on a December night in Springfield, Massachusetts. And what they kept harping on was, we were a couple wins away from the World Series in 2021. And it's like, buddy, you lost those last, I believe, 19 innings, like 20-3.
Right.
It was not a close series.
It's not competitive.
It was a blowout by the end when the Astros eliminated the Red Sox in the ALCS. But instead of, we won the World Series 2 years ago, we won the World Series 5 years ago, it was, we almost made the World Series. And to me, that showed what their goal is, which is to sort of create the illusion of competitiveness, which to me gets you, I don't think that gets you anywhere. I think that's all they want, that they are happy with creating this illusion that they're contenders, and they're fine to live that way.
I have some new reporting this morning on what they're going to do at the deadline. So this will answer what you're concerned about, Garvin. Are they
many sleepless nights?
Are they going to believe in this little run here and say, oh, no, we should... Got some new info on that. We'll get to that. I see on the phone lines. We'll take care of you. 617-779-0985. Matt McCarthy and Michael Hurley hanging out on a Sunday.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Michael Hurley. We got Ryan Garvin producing. CC Cam helping us out today. Reporting from Sean McAdam this morning. You ready for this? Because I know we were just talking about concern level that the Red Sox are going to look at this Yankees series and say, see, we're only 12 games under 500. We'll turn it around. We're going to start stacking some wins, as Craig Breslow said just this past week. They might say it. They don't believe it. Sean McAdam reporting this morning that he hasn't heard a word about the Red Sox adding at the trading deadline, just selling. They know.
Give it a couple days.
No, they know. They know. And it's Breslow can say what he wants because he's not a good communicator and he feels the need to sell us on something. The Sam Kennedy comments are what you need to pay attention to because Sam is speaking on behalf of ownership. They will direct Breslow to sell at this deadline.
Well, that's the question, and that's what I brought up to you before we started, was it... I think Ken Rosenthal made it clear as day. Tick, tick, tock on Craig Breslow, whether it's now, whether it's next month, whether it's in the offseason, it's going to happen. The question is, this now becomes a very important trade deadline for the purpose of building your roster for next year and beyond. And I think I heard you the other day telling me your plan, which is trade for prospects, and then in the winter coming up, you trade those prospects for big league players.
Yep.
I think that's fine. I would add in, there are going to be guys like a James Tibbs. Like, he has nowhere to go. Like, a guy that you had in your system, coincidentally. Guys that are blocked, guys that are probably big league caliber. There are guys out there in AA that are ready to make that leap. I'm okay with adding those type of guys. I don't want to add 19-year-old single A guys. I'm with you. I don't want a 3-year rebuild. You keep your important players. You keep your Abreu's. You keep your Rafaelas. I mean, that's a short list on the offense, but you keep guys so you still have a major league foundation. You add to it. I don't think it's that complicated, but can Breslow do that? If he's looking, like, if he's cleaning out his office, if he knows it's the axe is hanging above his head, what does he care? Why is he going to build for the future?
Couldn't agree more. Such a dangerous situation. You can say Breslow's not going to have any power at this deadline, and he's not, because the directive is going to be from ownership. You are going to sell players at this deadline. You will trade off of this major league roster. Now, the question is, do they tell him to go out and acquire big leaguers in return? Do the 2014 thing where they trade John Lackey, but they get Alan Craig and Joe Kelly in return?
Don't do that.
Don't do that. But if you want to go out and get big leaguers, if that's the directive from ownership, you're getting 2026 Alan Craig and Joe Kelly. You're getting somebody who another team is ready to give up on in Joe Kelly, and somebody who is damaged goods like Alan Craig. That's who you will get, which is why I hate the idea of getting major league players in return for major league players at this deadline, because what team is trading for Aroldis Chapman if they want to subtract from their major league roster? The only guys teams like the Dodgers want to subtract are Dustin May last year.
Yes, a team that's trying to win the World Series saying, here, have our pitcher.
Never a good sign.
7 red flags on that one. But the deal that I keep harping on this one, 2022, they're fresh off almost making the World Series, quote unquote. Yep. They're 500 going into the deadline. Heimblum trades Christian Vazquez and gets you Willie Abreu.
Yep.
Those are the deals that I think you need to be hunting this month, where it's like, did Abreu help you immediately? No, but he turned into a multi-time Gold Glover and a pretty good lefty bat. Those are guys that I would trust someone like Chaim Bloom to find. Now, of course, everyone freaked out, and he was not allowed to trade J.D. Martinez. He was not allowed to trade Xander Bogaerts. He was not allowed to trade Nate Eovaldi.
I don't know if he wasn't allowed to.
Well, he panicked. Everyone got mad at him.
No, Chaim was a coward, and he middled.
Well, yes, and guess
he
what
also
happened?
Added at the deadline and traded for Hosmer and traded for Reese McGuire.
That was after everyone freaked out because he made a great trade. Christian Vazquez getting you anything is a great trade. He could have restocked. This team would be probably pretty good if he was allowed to add 2 prospects per player I just named.
You are letting him way off the hook.
Well, guess what? He panicked. He was very bad at trade deadlines.
Yeah, no.
He got fired a year later. That team finished under 500 and went nowhere because everyone knew they were going nowhere. I would fight back a little. I don't know. I think the reaction, they sort of felt the way the wind was blowing and say, hey, Chaim, We're not selling.
Yeah.
We're the Red Sox. And it's like, well, all right. You have a ton of valuable assets that could help a contender, and you're going to just hang on to them to play out the string and finish under 500. Get worse in the second half of the year than you were in the first half.
So I agree. I mean, you want to acquire the next Wilyer Abreu. You want to trade your veteran guys and get guys who are going to be cost-controlled, impact young major league players.
Well, I don't care about the cost-controlled, but yes, they do.
They do. So, I mean, and that's always going to be one of the arguments for trading veterans is you get young players who are going to become a part of your next young core. Here's the problem, though. When did that Wilyer Abreu trade happen?
It was like July 25th, I want to say.
Okay.
So there was a week before the deadline.
I actually think it might have been a little closer to the deadline, but that doesn't matter. It happened.
I'll give you the exact date.
It happened in 2022.
Correct. He was traded on August 1st. So the deadline was probably one of those August 5th ones that year.
I think it was a day before the deadline.
There's very few things I'm steadfast on, a hard and fast rule. The deadline needs to be July 31st.
Couldn't agree more.
What do we do?
August 3rd?
That's like changing Christmas.
I agree. And you know what? It should be midnight. It shouldn't be 4 p.m. It should be midnight.
Sexy. I like that, yeah.
That's the way it used to be.
And you get guys pulled from games.
Yeah.
Grabbing their bats, grabbing their gloves, giving high fives.
Always a great scene.
Sexy.
Midnight. Didn't it used to be that way in the 90s, Hurley? I seem to remember that.
I remember NFL free agency was midnight. Very sexy. Knocks on doors at midnight. Hey, Adelis Thomas, you want to play New England? We've never talked before now.
No, great time. Great time to make it happen, especially if it's a weekend, too. Oh, that's good.
I derailed you. I'm sorry.
No. 2022 is when that trade happened. You know when Wilyer Abreu became a starter in the major leagues?
24.
Yeah. You know when Wilyer Abreu started becoming more than just a platoon player in the major leagues?
25.
26.
Yeah.
26. So it still has taken about 4 years to get to where you want with Abreu.
Yeah. You did get Manuel Valdez, of course, who played some second base for you.
And was not good.
He gave you some second base.
He
gave you a little second.
He did appear at second base. Yes. So, and as a result, you've gotten Wilyer Abreu, who is a nice major league player. Nice to
great
nice.
Defensive. Got a little pop. On a good team, a great 6-hitter.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I
would agree with that.
Not to pigeonhole him in, like a Trot Nixon.
Way
better defensively, obviously.
As Jared Carrabis said, Venezuelan Trot Nixon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the only one.
That's kind of who he is.
If you cement yourself in right field to anyone that lived through the 90s and early 2000s,
you are Trot Nixon.
You're new Trot Nixon.
Right. Is better against lefties than Trot Nixon.
Yeah.
Doesn't hit for...
It's not the steroid era anymore.
No.
I'll do respect.
Not. But so that would just be my argument is, yes, you go out and you get Wilyer Abreu, but it's 4 years later and you're finally starting to say, you know what, he's 1,000% a part of the future and he's playing every day and he's a nice major league player. So that's 4 years. Do I want to wait 4 years again? And by the way, Abreu was the type of prospect you're describing. AA, AAA, upper minors, knocking on the door of the major leagues type of thing. But it takes even a long time for guys who knock on the door of the major leagues to become what you want at the major league level. So you want to get one or two of those guys? Fine.
Yeah.
You can't rebuild the entire roster with upper minors prospects. You're going to have to flip them for impact bats this offseason.
That and spending money, which I'm not sure where we land on that, especially with the CBA, with everything that's looming. That's the part that's uncertain. But I don't know. You look at this is the reason I land on that example. I used to love Christian Vazquez. Once he had Tommy John and lost his snap throw to first, he was mostly useless as a major league player. He's been useless, and you still got a very useful starter on your team for him.
It's a great trade.
If you could have traded your starter, if you could trade your what now is Wilson Contreras, what now is Sonny Gray, you can get guys better than Wilyer Abreu. I think that's where you're there. I'm with you on flipping prospects too. You can do all these things so you can get your crochet deal again. These things have to happen. I don't know who's going to do it.
And does Breslow, if you give him the directive, knowing he's going to get fired, you think Breslow is going to be poring over film? You think Breslow is going to be lighting up the phone lines to talk to every scout across the major leagues to say, am I truly getting the right guy in return for Wilson Contreras? No, of course not. He doesn't care.
He's like, I just got this guy.
He's not gonna reap the benefits of this. He's gonna be fired. He'll be fired in September. He's not making it to the end of the year. They're gonna fire him at the same time they fired Cherington and Dombrowski and Bloom, which is
early September.
Yeah, August, September.
Well, to be fair, they didn't fire Cherington. They said, hey, you have a new boss.
Yeah.
Do you want to work for him?
And Cherington said no. And I'll tell you what, when they hire Breslow's new boss, they can't give him that option. He is poison.
Yeah.
He's poison in the organization. You can't give him the option to stay on. As much as I'd want to, because you could say you're in charge of the pitching, you're in charge of the minor league pitching development, the program, whatever. Everybody in the organization, based on the reporting, seems to hate the guy. So you can't let him stick around. Dan in the car. Hi, Dan.
So what I don't understand is, why is the Red Sox industrial complex so susceptible to complete and total delusion? I mean, 3 games against an injured, weak Yankees team. Let's just go back a week. A week ago, the Red Sox were tied with the Colorado Rockies for the fewest wins in Major League Baseball. They're not a mediocre team. They're not a sub-500 team. They are amongst the worst teams in Major League Baseball. Why can't we just let these young kids produce, marinate, and do well? Why all this talk about, well, if they could win 7 of their next 9, maybe there's a...
Who really is doing that, Dan?
I was doing it as a warning for what they might think.
You were playing media interviews where they're interviewing players saying, hey, you get the sweep. You could be in it. The American League is all jumbled up. It's happening. It's out there. No. The story gets pushed. We as a fan base can't let go. Yeah. It's a lost season. Your best players are injured. They're not coming back and making a contribution. Play your young kids and act like 75% of other major league teams that are generally out of it by Memorial Day, and live out your season.
I mean, I just read the reporting from Sean McAdam that they're not adding, they're selling the deadline, so they're not buying it. You've got a national broadcast with Buster Olney at the end on ESPN asking some guy from Worcester if they can get back in this. What do you want Buster to ask? What do you want Anthony Siegler to say in that spot? I don't think anybody is legitimately, we're saying it facetiously.
We're going to surprise a lot of people in the long run.
Okay, well, what do you want the kid from Worcester to say?
We actually suck, but this was a cool day.
Yeah, what? He doesn't know they suck. He's been here for 5 minutes. I mean, he can look at the standings, but he's not qualified to comment on that. I don't think, I'll be honest, Dan, I think you're missing the point on this. I don't think anybody is legitimately saying the Red Sox are going to turn it around. You asked the question, should we be concerned about them winning 3 games in a row, that they're going to try and sell us on something? Read the reporting. Don't pay attention to what people say in the media publicly. Pay attention to what the sources say behind the scenes. And what the sources say behind the scenes is they're selling at the deadline.
The best thing for this team is that these guys start to perform, so you can showcase them. Because one of the beautiful things about Jarren Duran still looking for the baseball out in Colorado was that was 2 of your biggest trade assets in Jarren Duran and Aroldis Chapman melting down to the worst team in baseball. You want these guys performing so you can hike up their trade value. That should be the goal for this team going into the deadline.
I want to read you a Craig Breslow quote when I can find it here. 1 second.
You speak ones and zeros?
Yeah.
You speak binary?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to find you this quote on the other side. We'll continue. 617-779-0985. Thoughts on the Red Sox. We'll get into the Celtics as well here in this next hour. The latest on the Jaylen Brown trade market, which is going great. We'll continue. Matt McCarthy, Michael Hurley hanging out.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
if you're gonna go corporate on it, but what can you do?
We love our friends at Xfinity, but great woods always.
It's great woods.
Always.
True. I saw that shirt came up on my Instagram, like retro.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you're 40. Here's a shirt you'd like. It's like, you got me. I didn't buy it though. Shout out to me.
Good for you.
Yeah. Bradley's. There's like a Bradley shirt. Just straight up. Oh, I remember that. I'm gonna buy that shirt. I held
strawberries, right? Wasn't
There's probably a strawberry shirt. Yeah. Great place to buy your concert tickets.
Back in the
There
day.
was no virtual queues. There was no service charges. You just go to Strawberries. They print it right there on a piece of paper. Here, you can go to this concert now somehow.
You can see this back. You can see this act.
How did if I'm at Strawberries in Medford and you're at Strawberries in wherever, name another town, how did we not buy the same tickets? Like, what was the infrastructure on the back end? I always wonder that.
It was magic.
It was like telephone wires. I don't know how anything worked before 2000. I honestly don't remember.
What a concept.
Crazy.
Wild world.
You go to Macy's too, get your concert tickets back then.
You go to Macy's and get concert?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? I've come around on the idea that just because, getting tickets to anything now has become a completely corrupt endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I do wish that you could just stand in line, wait in line. You want to see this band, this act, this game, whatever.
It's going to cost you a day of your life.
It's going to cost you a day.
You got to want it.
Yep. And
take the day off.
There's a 4-ticket maximum, and there you go. I mean, you want to scalp it, that's fine, but you got to work hard to scalp it.
It is one. We started the show off by saying, still smarter than the robots. They do have our ass when it comes to buying concert tickets.
Oh man,
the robots.
Do they ever?
It's a blowout. It's just domination. I did though. I did beat them.
Big time run differential there for the robots. You did what?
Oh well, I couldn't buy tickets the other day. The system, I got it in my cart, couldn't pay with one credit card, tried another credit card, tried Apple Pay, all this wasn't working. Nick Gemelli came in with his cape on.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'll get it. He uses that Klarna thing, which is like layaway, basically. When you go to buy a concert ticket, they're like, hey, how about 7 easy payments of this? He was able to get it for me. So shout out to Nick.
See, I would never click that.
Yeah,
I hate the. It's
he paid it in full, and I paid him back. But,
take my money now, kind of thing. I mean, because if I don't have the money, I'm not buying it.
But I did score a victory against the bots. I got Metallica Sphere tickets.
Whoa!
Straight up first sale.
Metallica's playing the Sphere?
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it was 2. Was you trying to get in?
Yeah,
it's already booked. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
Now,
my friend
half those guys
this
can
person dies.
Half those guys can still play their instruments. The other half of the band have seen better days, but that's still a great experience.
I was telling Murray this yesterday. I think it was on the air. I can't really remember. I keep saying this could be it. This could be the last time I see Metallica. I said that at Boston Calling 5 years ago. I said it at Gillette 2 years ago. They were still kicking ass. So I'm like, we got one more at least. And I would agree. You know what? Lars does fine. When Hammett's struggling, it's kind of like, uh-oh.
And that's kind of it. I already have very low expectations for Lars. People think he's the worst drummer that's ever walked the planet. And I don't believe that. But James Hetfield can still perform. Rob Trujillo, I think, will be play. He's my spirit animal. I love him, and I think he will play the way he plays until he's 110 years old.
He's the most talented guy in that band.
Kirk, when Kirk and Lars are starting, because they did a late night appearance. I don't know if they did Fallon or Kimmel or something, but it was very obvious who was carrying the group.
And I was there at Gillette. I had field tickets, and Hetfield's right in front of me, and I'm just staring at his downstrokes. I'm like, this dude's turning 60,
he's a psycho.
And he's still just while singing. It's so I got one more in me, and I beat the bots.
You have more than one.
Well, you never know.
Guys like that.
It's metal, It's not like we were talking yesterday. Rick Springfield's still out on the circuit. At a certain point, you can't play Metallica anymore. Like 65, 70, I don't know.
But they could almost franchise their stuff where they're here's a special guest, so-and-so guitar player.
They could always
Kirk.
They could always go back to the symphony.
You could get people to, hey, do you want to come and play Jakey Lee? You can still perform. Do you want to come play with Metallica? You could get guys who can play their music.
When it comes to going to see Metallica, it's the clock's ticking.
You want to see Metallica.
Yeah.
Dude, good for you.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Beat the bots on that.
You're right, because you never know when it might go. As somebody who was at the AC/DC show last year, oh boy.
Is that at Fenway?
Oh no, it was at Gillette. Oh no.
Man.
Oh no. No. I don't know what else to say about it besides no. That was rough. makes you appreciate the guys who are out there in their 70s still
Yeah.
kicking ass.
Yeah.
See, my advice is to just
Not all of them. Not
start
all of them
liking
are
bands that aren't that popular, because then you don't have to fight with anybody to
Yeah.
get tickets to go.
You
see
go to
them.
like Brighton Music Hall with 100 other people, and you're like, this band
Exactly.
kicks ass.
Yeah, I like this.
But you'd be surprised, even the bands you think that that wouldn't be huge, like you go and it's still jam packed. Like, how are there this many people wanting to see this event at the same time? I went to Great Woods recently, saw Evanescence, because again, I'm a 35-year-old man.
That's the thing. They're trying to get our generation, Matt.
Did they wake you up?
They did wake me up. Actually, Amy Lee can still.
Were you going under?
I was. Yeah.
I know
I was-
our next.
I couldn't-
I know our next rejoin song.
I couldn't believe how many people were there. And
It's a good time down there.
The tickets were gifted to me, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a fun time." You know, go back. It's 2003 all over again. Sure, why not?
I don't think there's any secret. The only negative down there is the parking. The venue.
Venue's
It's delightful in the
Venue's
summer.
great. Legroom.
Ooh, that's not an issue for me, but for
It's
you, yeah,
tremendous.
Yeah.
The sound there is great.
You're close too. You're closer than you would be at, say, like the Garden. You know, if you get mediocre seats, you're still in the amphitheater.
Yeah, I mean, the sight lines aren't great.
Oh, the poles.
Yeah, the poles.
You got to get in front of the pole.
And admittedly, the video boards aren't great, but I don't care what a concert looks like. I care what the concert sounds like. And Great Woods is the best sounding venue by far. It's built for
It's an amphitheater.
It is. And they've taken away some of the lawn, which is good. You will not catch me dead on the lawn for any show.
Oh, I used to live on the lawn.
I mean, we all did.
I was there when I think it was Green Day. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Green Day with maybe with Blink. I'm trying to remember. I was there and the fence collapsed, and everyone fell, and then everyone ran up. It was mayhem. No one got hurt as far as I could tell.
There's a very famous incident when Disturbed played out there, and the entire lawn, it just turned into a dirt fight. Just like cannonballs, just back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, you live on the lawn because they would have like 3 people having to patrol the entire stretch of it.
Right.
We're like, all right, we can get away with no good up here.
Yeah.
You won't find me dead up there at this point.
Oh no, I'm past the age. I want a seat. I want to sit down and just watch Slipknot, Slipknot's the last band that I saw perform at the Twitter Center.
Great Woods, my friend.
Twitter
Great
Center.
Woods. You're right. The parking,
It's a challenge.
it is. I don't know how they haven't fixed that.
When I was younger, again, this goes back to when you could stay up. We realized, like, let's just tailgate after. We had subs in the cooler with Coke and drinks, and not alcoholic drinks because you got to leave after that, obviously.
Yeah.
But you just sort of hang out and you watch everyone beep at each other, like want to kill each other, and you're just like, oh, they're going nuts. You listen to music. You just if you have the peace of mind and time to stay up an extra hour and a half to just sit there and enjoy it, that's the only, other than leaving early, that's the only solution I found.
I would also say too, totally underappreciated. It's like you go to Gillette, you walk forever. You park in P11, you park somewhere south on Route 1, in the hotel parking lot there. Like, you walk for a mile and a half. You go to Great Woods, you park, you're at your seat in like 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there, it's out, outside of the car issue, which is
Getting out.
It shouldn't be that difficult.
It's a big
I don't
parking
know.
lot.
I'll be honest. I don't know why. And this is my traffic thing. I don't know why they don't just close 140. I live in the area.
Yeah.
There are alternate routes. There are plenty of alternate routes.
And do like Gillette does and have both lanes.
No,
both
right,
sides.
exactly. I get why you don't close down Route 1. 140 should just be some of you going right, some of you going left. Deal with it. Turn left in Norton Center. You're good.
But that's only part of it because in my experience, you have all these pods in the parking lot. Call them pods.
Yeah.
And they all have to go to the center line. And that's where you get this sort of bottleneck that can't be fixed. And then you have people in those pods fighting each other just to back out of their spots. It's just, it's mayhem. They do need a thinker to go in and just be like, all right, I got this.
I'm a thinker.
Yeah, they need you down there.
You give me the bulldozer, I'll get that thing taken care of, no problem. We're closing 140. You can go around. There's 17 alternate routes to 140 at that point. Most of the traffic dumps out to the left. If you park on the left side of the venue, we're facing the venue. You park on the left side. Your only option is to go right. You go down to 123. Boom, you're on 495 in 7 minutes. You're fine. There you go. I got it figured out. We just open up a few more exits out of there, so we're not all going down to the center lane. We already took out enough trees when we put the amphitheater in, we'll take down a few more trees. We'll make some paper towels, and there you go.
January 7th, 2027, Maura Healey's current term ends. I was just looking, if you want to, start campaigning now, it might be too late. You only have about 6 months, but
it's never too late.
Content like this could land you a lot of Massachusetts votes.
Let's get the satellite view of this here.
It's a big parking lot.
If you ever wanted to win holdovers like me when it comes to things like artificial intelligence, these are the problems that we should have AI trying to fix.
Yeah.
Traffic. How do we fix traffic? How do we fix traffic up in this region? I think Matt has some good ideas, but you plug that into some software, then maybe we could start cooking with gas instead of let's just replace people.
I don't need the software. Again, do you know how many trees we took? Look at the trees we can take down. I can get you a direct onto 495, both north and south out of there.
You want to take
that?
You want to take the woods down?
I'll take 140. I'll take 140 out of the equation.
It's called Great Woods. You can't take the woods out of Great Woods.
Look at how many woods there are behind this.
So you just want strictly concert night road access? It's a tough sell. The conservationists will get you. A lot of red tape there. I think
that has to be conservation.
Yeah, you got to rethink that.
Without looking, I would say
no, I know it's conservation land. There are paths out there. But
dog walkers across the region will be very cross with you.
There are a lot of ticks back out there too, which is why I don't go for a walk back.
If you have that much woods behind the venue, why do they still have a curfew? You can hear that through the woods?
Yeah, I can actually.
Oh, all right.
Some nights I can.
Slipknot. You probably heard Slipknot.
Nah, it's generally not Slipknot. Loudest concert I ever heard, one of the One Direction guys.
Liam? Neil?
No, I don't know which one it was.
Harry.
All the girls
Probably
were screaming. It definitely was not Harry.
Sully?
They don't get that type. They don't get Harry Styles there anymore.
I just named 3 One Direction guys, and
Marky
it was none of them.
I don't know.
Zayn?
Harry
Was
Styles.
it Zayn?
Justin Timberlake?
Isn't one of them dead?
Yes.
Was it the dead guy? Was it before he died? I don't know. But it was one of the One Direction guys not named Harry Styles. Because
Liam died.
It might have been Liam. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But that was
Way to bring the room
That
down.
was a loud concert, man. A loud show. All the girls screaming. Yeah.
Sounds very hunky.
Dead and Company, too, with their little jam bandy thing coming. Yeah,
that's got to be more
wafting
just like
through the air.
Droning kind of warble, kind of just
Yeah.
like you can't really make one thing out from the other, but it permeates the quiet night, and you're just hearing like tambourines and off-tune guitars playing
and
all
like
night.
a fart horn,
God.
like a vacuum cleaner,
like
something.
a bassoon.
By the way,
I
good
bet
news.
Dead Company have a bassoon.
I did. I was walking to get my mail, and I turned around. It's like, I'm not. I'm going back inside where I can't hear this show.
We got good news. It was Neil Horan.
Neil.
Not Liam.
Neil.
May Liam rest
Niall.
in peace.
Okay.
Niall. But yeah, it wasn't.
Weren't they speculating that like his girlfriend pushed him out that window?
There was some weird stuff, but
Yeah.
I think he was living there.
It's not.
Narcotics might have been
Not
in and
not-
around
not
the
a-
apartment.
not a-
I
not a
don't know
great
all the
scene.
details.
Yeah.
I'll wait for a Netflix documentary to tell me how to feel about that.
Sure. May he rest in peace. 617-779-0985. Jaylen Brown, the latest on him. He's, again, I don't know what's going on with that trade market. We'll get to the bottom of it, because if there's one group of people who's going to get to the bottom of this, I already just fixed your Great Woods traffic plan. Why they built the venue where you can't access 495 South, it makes no sense.
Well, they saw a stadium and they were like, "Hey, no one can get to that.
Right.
Let's copy it."
Unnecessary planning. I'll have that fixed in 5 minutes. We will fix the Jaylen Brown trade market too next.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Lobster Lovers Week.
really a good player. Could they do that, Michael Hurley? Do you think they could?
I heard that he'd be the seventh best player on the team. That's what's going around. This is one of the weirder dramas. I don't know what you want to call it, sagas of all time. Because did you hear the names I mentioned from B-Rob's story? Did any of those excite you?
No, you have not named any of them.
Well, B-Rob ran through some of the options.
Okay,
we trust B-Rob. We love B-Rob. He said the Nuggets, forget about it. Okay. Unlikely.
Can you just read?
Yeah.
Give me the details of this.
Well, he's just going through the others because nothing's really come through. He said the Nuggets, highly unlikely, a source tells Mass Live. So just delete. The Trailblazers. So basically what you're looking at is teams with first-round draft capital and some bad contracts they can throw at you to match, 80% of the salary, which is hard to do because Jaylen Brown makes $56 million. Yeah. So you're going to have to take on a lot of, respectfully, these are human beings, a lot of junk to get first-round picks. And it's like, why would you do that? What stage are the Celtics in? But you've got the Blazers. You could get Jeremy Grant because he's got a bad contract.
Who?
Jeremy Grant. And then some of their backcourt talent, Scoot Henderson or Shaedon Sharp. And then they have extensive future first-round pick draft capital.
Okay.
So you like that one?
No.
You trade Jaylen Brown for Scoot Henderson?
For Scoot and 5 first-round picks in the 2030s? I'm good.
The two players that you would want from Portland are Denny Avdia and Donovan Clingan.
Not getting them.
And they probably would not part with those guys because, again, the whole idea is we're bringing in Jaylen Brown. Why would we want to move on from our two best players?
So in Toronto, Scotty Barnes not on the table, according to B-Rob. That leaves a mix of pricey contracts left for Boston to choose from for salary matching purposes. And then it looks like you could get Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett. They have shorter deals. You like them?
No.
I would listen on Brandon Ingram. I think there's something there with him. I thought he was going to be a much better player than he has shown. I liked him in New Orleans, and I think he went to Toronto and kind of lost his step a bit. But out of all the names that have come up so far in this piece by B-Rob, that would be the one where I'm like, okay, I don't want to move on from Jaylen Brown, but if you're going to bring back Brandon Ingram, I might give you a chance.
Yeah, I'd say the only one that got me that way was Jalen Duren, only because he's young and he's a position of need. You need size in the middle. I liked what Detroit was doing last year. There was that stretch where Cade Cunningham was out and they didn't miss a beat. So you like the makeup there, but I still don't understand the end game. If you have a number 3 overall pick and a number 2 overall pick that become stars, all-stars, perennial all-stars, all NBA guys, everything you could dream of when you pick that high, and now here you are, you lose a year because one of them's hurt. And you're like, all right, next year's the year. And now you get to next year, and it's like, well, we got to get rid of one. We got to get some first-round picks in here. I'm truly baffled that we're at this position because Giannis I wasn't for, but I understood it. Like, if you said trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis, all right. I wouldn't, but yeah, fine. He's a superstar. He's an all-time player. See what happens. Jeremy Grant and Scoot Henderson in some first-rounders? We need to hear from Jaylen Brown because outside of him saying, I'm done here, none of this makes any sense.
Okay, well, we did hear from Jaylen Brown yesterday.
He had a lot to say.
He had a lot to say, responding to a report by Bobby Marks who said, quote, I had an analytics guy tell me we view Jaylen Brown as the 7th best player on a team. Jaylen Brown then responded with a plethora of tweets, a string of tweets, a litany of tweets, including analytics nowadays used to discredit and control narratives. Roll the ball out. None of these guys better than me on both ends. Who does he work for? He then responds, nobody has won more combined regular season and playoff games since I entered the league 10 years ago. Analytics are ruining the game. We playing AI hoops. Bobby Marks then responding by saying, but what wasn't posted was the 2 minutes of saying I'm not an analytics person but an eye test guy, that I would want Jaylen Brown on my team, and you impact winning. You are a top 10 player, and I wouldn't help any team and would help any team looking to win a championship. That part, of course, didn't make it, but that's the media in 2026. So Bobby Marks is saying, I'm a Jaylen Brown guy. Jaylen Brown then retweets that and says, state your source. So
maybe I might solve this one. Maybe it was Grant Hill, who was the general manager of Team USA, because I think Jaylen Brown, 7th best player in Team USA. That's fair.
That sounds about right.
Outside of that, I think like if you're talking about the Atlanta Hawks, he's going to be in the starting lineup, I'm going to say, on most NBA teams.
Yes.
Crazy comment. And the context almost doesn't matter because the reason that comment went viral is because it was absurd.
Yes, but I think he's going after Bobby Marks. Bobby Marks is saying, I heard from one person in the league who says this. Yeah, I'm sure one person in the NBA is an idiot. I'm sure there are a bunch of people in the NBA who are idiots. You know why I know that? Because the Milwaukee Bucks didn't take Jaylen Brown in return for Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that was a mistake. I think they made a mistake. I think you overvalue draft picks in the NBA. I don't care what your draft pick is in 2034. Nobody has any idea what teams are going to be like in 2034. It is ridiculous to load up on draft picks instead of taking what I believe to be a top 15, top 20 player in the league in Jaylen Brown in return for Giannis. I know there are a bunch of dumb people in the NBA. That's not news to me. What is news to me is that the Celtics are still interested in trading Jaylen Brown. And it might not happen because it does not seem that, there's really much of a market for him, which I think is wrong. I think the league has it wrong, but this is where we're at, Hurley.
I would say I think it was a mistake, but I don't think it was a mistake from their part because I remember this was probably at this point, I don't know, 6 weeks ago, maybe longer. Mark Bertrand sitting in that seat in the number one chair, which you christened and made sure was the one chair.
Yeah, made sure this was the chair we sit in.
I couldn't tell you who he was citing, what report it was, but it was that if the Bucks were to trade for Jaylen Brown in the Giannis deal, they had no interest in keeping Jaylen Brown. So that to me was the first flag where you're like, well, that's a team that could make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference with Jaylen Brown as their one. And they had apparently from the get-go no interest. So the only way that deal was happening is if they were flipping it. It probably speaks to your point, dumb people running teams, but that was the first eyebrow raiser to me where you're like, what? I don't think Jaylen Brown is a perfect player. I know he was sixth in the MVP voting this year. He was sixth in all NBA voting. That doesn't mean you're the sixth best player in the league, but it means you're top 15 or 20.
Right.
It means you're a damn good player. And the fact that teams are so, these packages are deals these are like middle of the roster deals you try to talk about. This is how you get Malcolm Brogdon on your team. This isn't how you get rid of one of your superstars for reasons unknown. It's just kind of baffling, and I can't get past it.
The fact of the matter is, though, Hurley, they do have to deal with dumb people. There are dumb people in the NBA. There are dumb people in sports. I think they've got it wrong on Jaylen Brown, but they still do want to deal with him because they want him gone. You are not on board, I sense, with the idea of trading Jaylen Brown.
If you can make the team I just think you're supposed to compete for a championship this year. That was the whole deal. You have a very disappointing crash out against the Knicks. Tatum gets hurt, and you say, well, next year, not going to happen. And they ended up being better than we thought, but then in the end, not. So they were what we expected them to be. This is what you waited for. They had all the salary shedding last year. You get rid of Porzingis, you get rid of Holiday. You clearly had to get under the apron, and you just sort of reset. I thought for now, not setting you back further. I don't know any of these deals make the Celtics a better team come October than just keeping Jaylen Brown.
I hear you on that. I understand what you're saying. I think we're ignoring the fact that the Celtics will not win with Brown and Tatum again.
Well,
they're not going to.
I've got a much bigger problem than Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and he wears a black long sleeve shirt. He stands on the sideline. Every spring, he gets outcoached by someone who's better than him.
Sure.
And until, to me, that I'm going to hang the Philly loss on him. I'm going to hang the Knicks loss on him. I understand you can have some issues with the way Tatum and Brown play at the end. You could say that run to the finals was very fortuitous when it came to the opponents. All true.
Sure was.
I have trouble pinning it all on them when the coach cannot win a series against lesser teams because he cannot outcoach the opposing coach. Nick Nurse, Tom Thibodeau. Make your list. I think, the longest tenured coach in the NBA, Miami Heat. Eric Spoelstra coached the pants off him multiple times. They got lucky once or twice in some of those series. Max Strus with the toe in the line. They lose
Jimmy
the series.
Butler missing the shot.
Jimmy Butler missing when they really should have lost that game. The year
that
they
was
did
Ime,
lose.
Though.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
No,
Yeah.
but the collapse to the New York Knicks when Jason Tatum blew out his Achilles. That was. Let's just keep banging our head against the wall. The Knicks are chipping away. They're eating into our lead, and they didn't score for like 8 consecutive minutes in the fourth quarter, and it was all because of missed 3-pointers.
No
That
doubt.
is coaching style.
No doubt. Joe Mazzulla is a stubborn idiot. He's not a very good coach. Yes, all of those things are true. In the end, though, the most important thing in the NBA are your star players. And, this Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, to me, have underachieved across multiple coaches. They have underachieved across multiple roster combinations. Like, at some point, I do need to put playoff disappointment and losing repeatedly to undeniably inferior playoff competition on them. Yes, is Joe Mazzulla a bad coach? Of course he's a bad coach. I'm not denying that one bit. I would have fired him 2 years ago. I would have had no problem with that. So you don't have to convince me of that. But what I think we all need to have an honest conversation with ourselves about, Hurley, is the fact that Brown and Tatum continue to show us who they are together, which is a team who's going to lose to an 8 seed in the Heat. Like, coaching shouldn't matter in that series, and it did, but it shouldn't, because you were so much better than them. It was a 1 seed versus an 8 seed. You fall behind 3-0 in the series. That is not all on coaching. You blow back-to-back 20-point leads at home in games 1 and 2 against the Knicks. I'll put that more on Mazzulla than I will on Brown and Tatum, but they're a part of it. You're telling me that they can't take the basket and say, you know what, guys, we're going to take the ball to the hole here, and we're going to stop shooting threes, and we're going to seize control of this game because we are experienced, close to 10-year veterans in this league. Screw the game plan. This isn't working. I'm taking the ball to the hole. Of course you can. Of course they could. They didn't. And then you blow a 3-1 lead at home to the Sixers,
Crazy.
who then get dog-walked by the Knicks. Like, I can't put that on Brown and Tatum.
You can, and I sound sort of ridiculous saying, like, how could you trade Jaylen Brown? You can't. They're not perfect players. They're not a perfect team. I don't know how getting rid of one of them and getting a 2030 first-round pick from the Portland Trailblazers does anything for you.
So that's the problem here, is the return is going to be nowhere near good enough, and it's why they screwed up so badly with the Giannis trade. Yes, I get it. It would be an overpay to trade Brown and 2 first-round picks, not that they're worth anything, and Hugo Gonzalez and Baylor Shine. Whatever the Heat were asking for there, would it have been too much? Yes, because you're giving them a star player in return. Generally, star players don't get traded for star players in the NBA. Star players get traded for 5 completely overrated first-round draft picks in the 2040s. Like, that's how trades go down in the NBA at this point. So, would it have been too much to give Ugo on top of Jaylen Brown? Yeah, it would have been. That being said, Giannis should have been worth so much more to the Celtics than the Heat. They should have been willing to overpay for it, because you cannot waste more years of Jason Tatum. You can't do it. Yes, Brown and Tatum's not going to work. They've made that determination. They are correct. They are correct in saying this combination has reached the end of the road. They're not going to win again. It's time to break them up. But you have to be willing to overpay to get the star in return, so you don't waste even a year of Jason Tatum. Let's say you accumulate 4 first-round draft picks, and then a year from now you flip them for the next star player that becomes available. Well, you just wasted Jason Tatum's age 29 season. Like, time is of the essence here with the Celtics. That's my problem with it.
And
they should have been willing to overpay for Giannis.
I would add a problem to you. It's not like this offseason snuck up on you. You had a whole year to think about it. Last year was your reset year. You had to have some sort of plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. It seemed like it was Giannis, and then, is Jeremy Grant available? How did you go from Giannis to Jeremy Grant?
Because generally there's one star player available at a time.
You'd think, too, because after the Giannis deal happened and Brown didn't move, you heard Windhorst, you heard other people say there's going to be a bidding war on Jaylen Brown. Nope.
That's the surprising thing about it.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Like, I don't think he's an all-time great, but he's, a 5-time All-Star?
Yeah.
2-time second-team All-NBA. Like, these guys are not, they don't grow on trees.
He will get you to the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference by himself, basically. He'll lose in the playoffs, as he always does, but, he'll get you to the playoffs.
Can I pose a question, Matt? So, based on what I've been hearing you say about this, the last couple of days, your belief is, or I say, you believe that the organization, the Celtics organization, looks at this as from a basketball standpoint, not a financial standpoint.
If you're willing to trade for Giannis and reportedly maybe extend him, finances are not the number one concern there.
But I'll push back on that because you're not that willing though. You could have had Giannis. There's not a multiverse scenario where the Miami Heat are going to come up with a better trade package than what the Boston Celtics could have offered. That's a fact. Jimmy Haslam picked the worst package of the two. But if the Celtics, I believe, really wanted to get Giannis, they could have had Giannis. And I don't think they really wanted him that badly.
I think they stopped
because of where the team's finances are set to go going into the season.
Now, Garvin, I mean, you know me. I was probably the day Bill Chisholm bought the Celtics, I said, not good. Yep. Not good. This guy, his business history is going into organizations and stripping them down for parts. So right away I said, bad news. I don't like this new ownership. Decisions are going to be made based on finances and finances only. I actually don't think that's the situation here. I mean, I have a long and documented history of hammering the Celtics over their finances. If you're willing to trade for Giannis, you're willing to take on the money in return. They made a basketball decision in the end to not trade for Giannis because they drew a line in the sand on Hugo Gonzalez. That is Brad Stevens making a basketball evaluation. That's not Bill Chisholm saying, wait, I'm sorry, you're about to trade for Giannis? No, back away. We don't want the money. Like, you're telling me that ownership didn't know they were in on Giannis? Come on.
I think based on just how the whole thing played out, I believe that they would look at it and go, well, again, we want him, but I don't think they're overly that upset about not getting a player that's going to be making $53 million. I do think they are going to try to find a way to move on from a player in Jaylen Brown that is going to command just about 35% of your salary cap going into the season. The first significant move that this team made, because he had such a great game 7, was let's figure out something with Ron Harper Jr. We're going to decline his contract where he's going to make $2 million, and we're going to extend him by 3 years, because I think that is, as you crystallized perfectly, Matt, that is the business model for this team going forward. So if the Celtics turn around and this is my nightmare scenario, because I don't want them to trade Jaylen Brown. I do not agree with you. I think that you absolutely can build a championship team around these two because Brad Stevens did it before. I think the finances are the thing that are ultimately going to win. So if we see Jaylen Brown in New Orleans and Trey Murphy III, who's making $22 million, anywhere from $22 to $25 million off the top of my head, I think that's the name of the game. I think it is more important to the Celtics to get under for a second year so they don't have to pay the luxury tax repeater stuff. They can free up all their stuff. And I think that's a mistake because you have two superstars that are capable of winning a championship in their prime right now. Sure. You and I are just not going to agree on that. But I think the more important thing is, what is the motivation for this team? Is it if it's a basketball thing, I think I can understand that. I can talk myself into that. But I believe it's purely financially motivated, and I do not respect that business model. We are literally living it with the Boston Red Sox right now.
If you, I just threw it in the trade machine. Trey Murphy for Jaylen Brown, it works. I don't understand the salary. I thought you got to match closer than that. They're $30 million apart. It still works. By doing that, you decrease the Celtics' projected wins by 9.
That's
How much
just
money
you're
do they
not.
save?
I'm sorry.
$30 million.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of the game. Brian Scalabrine kind of outlined it. We want a slingshot. Like, they're trying to talk you into this is going to be good for the team. And a lot of Celtics fans will just eat up whatever this team does and go, yeah, well, you can't part with Hugo Gonzalez. You can't part with Baylor Shireman. And I think that's a mistake. I want the shiny objects. I want horses. I don't want ponies, to steal a term from Felger and Mez. I want the best players available, and I think Jaylen Brown is going to be better than whatever return you are going to get for him.
I agree with that. I almost never want ponies. I want horses in the NBA. Jaylen Brown will be better at this point than whatever you get in return for him. The only thing we ignore in that discussion, you said they're capable of winning a championship.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, they're capable of winning a championship. They're not going to, though. They're not. They're done. Brown and Tatum, it's done.
Disagree.
It's over.
I completely disagree with that point.
What about Brown and Tatum? And we'll get into this on the other side. What about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum over the last 2 years suggests they are going to win a championship ever again? 617-779-0985. That's the most important thought in all of this. I know we all think they can win a championship. They have won a championship. Have you seen anything in the last 2 years that would indicate that they're actually going to fulfill their potential and their capabilities?
Well, what if we move the cutoff to 3 years? 3 years ago, I saw something. They had a parade. I was there.
Well,
everyone was having a good time.
We'll get into that next. We continue.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
that Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum as a duo continue to tell us who they are, which is a group that will chronically and repeatedly underachieve against vastly inferior competition in the playoffs. Like, I think if they weren't here, we would look at them, Hurley, and say, if they were, another team in the NBA, another duo in the NBA, and we'd say, those guys aren't going to win again. Because we keep seeing who they are. We would say that 2024 was an outlier, and that was because of how loaded the roster was around them, which they'll never have ever again. They'll never have that good a roster around them again.
That was a good team.
It was an amazing team that faced absolutely nobody on the way to a championship.
You had the Heat without Butler.
Yep.
You had the Cavs without Mitchell for 2 of the games, I want to say, and you had the Pacers without Halliburton. Is that right?
Halliburton got hurt,
right?
Early in that series, right?
And then the Mavericks, you did have Luka,
who is a complete and total loser. He was not Eastern European James Harden.
Yeah, he was not in shape.
No.
And Kyrie got hurt.
Kyrie was hurt. You're right.
His knee, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the Halliburton only played 2 of the 4 games in the Pacers series.
So I think what we've learned.
Well, let me just throw this at you because you're right. Like that was an easy run. I'm big on this lately this week because you grew up here.
I did.
The banners, the championship-driven organization, nothing but championships. Championships are all that matters. I was born in 1986. You were born later.
Mm-hmm.
You son of a gun. We've witnessed with our own eyes 2 championships our entire lives.
Yeah.
It's actually not a super championship heavy run. Like we've seen the Bulls win 6. We've seen the Warriors win 5. We've seen the Cavs win. We've seen the Heat win. There are more teams that have won more than 2 championships.
The Lakers in our
lives.
Lakers.
We've seen the Lakers win a whole lot of championships. One of those 2 times, the guy who was the man, the guy who was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, the one who was the Finals MVP, is the guy they're trying to get rid of now. And I think that's where I'm resisting you. I can't speak to why Garvin's resisting you, but
spite and malice.
Yeah. There's some
why we have
built up history there. But
sure.
I don't know why I'm in a rush to get rid of the guy that was, I think Tatum had a great finals. He could have been the finals MVP as well, but the results are the results. Being in this push to get rid of the guy that got you there when nobody gets you there, I can't support it. I can't get behind it. I don't think it's a lost cause, and I think you get farther away from that if you trade away that guy.
Can I
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I answer your question about why I do push back about that? And I think Matt brings up an excellent point about if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown played for a different franchise and we were just looking at it from a basketball standpoint and going, wow, they really should have won more. That's true for literally every duo in the NBA right now. Because as you were saying that, I was thinking about Nikola Jokic, who might, be opting out of a contract, and I go, man, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray should have won more.
Yep.
But they didn't. So to Hurley's point, I think the idea that you would be moving away from someone who at least can get you to the finals in 2023 and 2024, or excuse me, 2022 and 2023, they made the finals. Won one, lost one. You're basically right where every other top-end team is right now. So if you want to continue to push for championships, these are the 2 guys that have shown they can get you at least to there, because I think a lot of other teams right now are in very similar circumstances right now. Call it parity, call it the new CBA, stopping teams from assembling these super teams. Whatever the case may be, there is still an avenue to take advantage of the rest of the NBA right now. My biggest, and again, I'll go back to what I was saying in the previous segment. If it's a basketball thing, I would be more open to it. But I don't think it's a basketball thing. I think it's a finances thing. And I'm not coming off of that because the burden of proof is on ownership to prove me wrong. Because as you guys were talking about, it was a great championship team. Yep. I was so wrong about Drew Holiday. I was so wrong about him. The guy is a winner and he thrived in this city. Kristaps Porzingis, not ultimately available. I'll take him 8 days a week over Neemias Queta. Easy. The first thing that ownership did this ownership group did when
Get
they
rid
came
of
here
him.
was gut the
Right,
team
to save
money.
No, and Ryan, you're right about that. We should bring up finances with everything the Celtics do, because this is who this new ownership group is. I mean, they are private equity guys. Bill Chisholm has a long and documented history of getting very rich by selling off a whole bunch of pieces. So, yes, am I concerned about that? Undeniably. I just don't think the Brown situation is that. I think it's basketball, because I think the Celtics are rightfully looking at those two and they're saying, we're not going to win with them again. And whether or not, and you know what? They might end up keeping Jaylen Brown, because there's no deal out there to be made. And that's my concern right now, too. What are you getting in return for Jaylen Brown?
Jeremy Grant.
It's not good. It's not good. But I'm going to tell you.
What about Scoop or Scoot?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, Scoops Henderson.
Yeah.
Ice cream enthusiast.
You're not going to win with Brown and Tatum again. You bring up.
I'm not so sure about that.
Hold on. You bring up the Nuggets. We look at the Nuggets and say, well, there's a team that should have won more. You know what I say about the Nuggets? Break up the Nuggets. Because if I want to get the most out of Jokic, I maybe need to get new guys to play with Jokic to re-energize him.
They did that. They traded Michael Porter Jr. to the Brooklyn Nets and brought back Cam Johnson, and they were kind of worse off because of it. And Michael Porter Jr. went and posted for a Nets team with zero expectations. But that's the process that's starting. The Knicks are about to go through it, by the way, because James Dolan I might be misquoting him, but I believe I saw him say we're not really interested in going over that second apron. I could be completely making that up. But when you look at the salary that they're going to figure out here, Karl Anthony Towns is going to be up in one season. OG Anunoby is making $42 million next year in the NBA. Mikal Bridges is going to be commanding a hefty salary. They might start to move on from those guys because they realize it's just not going to be worth it from a financial standpoint. But again, the New York Knicks fan base has every right to be pissed about that, because you're going to gouge us on tickets, but then you're not going to pay to keep a championship roster together. And that is easily my biggest issue with how the Boston Celtics have been operating. That's why I didn't think they were going to be any good going into this season. Turns out, hey, you can have a nice regular season team when Peyton Pritchard is performing.
They generally do.
Baylor Shireman is performing. But then once you get into the playoffs and you've got, the smartest coach in the world starting 3 scrubs in Game 7, in what scenario does the coach ever win over the player? Because that also feels like it's a factor, too. We're going to pick coaching style over an NBA superstar.
Because
that never happens.
Because Jason Tatum is a Joe Mazzulla guy.
That's an aspect of it.
So it's Jason Tatum winning over Jaylen Brown, which is how it's always been. And it's how it always will be.
But
that's one of the reasons Brown wants out, too. The Celtics want Brown out. Brown also wants out. Sorry,
I just think about the coaches. Like Mike Budenholzer won a championship. Didn't last that long after that. There's another one in there. Michael Malone, the Nuggets.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't last very long after that. It's like, why is your guy signed for life?
Oh, because Tatum loves him, and admittedly,
does he love losing to the Knicks and the Sixers?
I don't know if Tatum cares. Tatum already has. No. Tatum already has one.
He does want the Finals MVP. I believe he said that in an interview last year.
Tatum
which is
has
important. That's what we measure everyone by.
Tatum has a championship. Brown has a championship. What's the most important thing to Jaylen Brown right now? It's not winning another championship. It's being a number one somewhere else. So how is that situation going to work? You keep Jaylen Brown, who wants to be a number one, and his number one goal is to be the guy, not his number one goal is to win a championship. How are you going to win a championship if your second best player just wants to be the best player? Does that situation work?
Well, I think they could have made this situation work, because you could look at it and go, well, Jaylen Brown wants to be the number one guy. I look at it as, I think Jaylen Brown just wants respect from whoever is employing him. And I think, and look, this is where I side with him.
He's always going to be disrespected. That's who he is.
But he has shown that he looks for stuff, and it's like, all right, man. It's like, what makes you happy? What is going to make you happy?
Nothing.
And I think the idea that he went into the season knowing that Tatum was going to be out and just going, okay, I can do something here. The Celtics flat out basically said, hey, we don't believe in you. And they showed that by getting rid of Drew Holiday, by not re-signing Al Horford and Luke Cornett, by getting rid of Kristaps Porzingis, and said, we're going to use this opportunity to reset. They'll tell you otherwise. They'll say the Jason Tatum's injury had nothing to do with it. I don't believe them. And if I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm going, well, now I know for sure that you do not believe in me, even though I did post this year, and objectively, I was a top 5, top 6, semantics, whatever, player in the NBA. You don't believe in me. So if he wants out at this point, everything we've been talking about up until now does not matter. If he wants out, you have to get him out.
Jaylen Brown's going to feel that way, that getting rid of Holiday and Porzingis was a shot at him. But to your point, Garvin, the reason they did that had nothing to do with Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. It had to do with money. Because they wanted to get under they wanted to cut salary the second Bill Chisholm took over. So, and probably the Tatum injury gave them cover to do that. But that was always going to happen. We're up against it. We'll take a break. I see you on the phone lines, I promise. 617-779-0985. We continue. Michael Hurley's here. Ryan Garvin's here. Intern Cece's here. McCarthy, you're here. Thank you for that. Very nice of you. We'll continue on the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
But Matt, you probably know this better than I do. Like, if you're not moving Jalen, if you're not moving Tatum, who else can you get value from this roster to get like a young upcoming center or a power forward who can get 14 and 10? Like this rest of a roster, I don't think anybody in the league looks and goes, yeah, we'll trade Derek White for a young center or Hugo Gonzalez. I'll hang up. You guys can talk, but yeah, I think unfortunately Brown and Tatum are the only things you can get value for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, do I trust Brad Stevens to make the most out of a move for a role player? Yes, 1,000%. I think he's excellent at that. I just don't think in the end their issues are, well, they don't have a big. And don't get me wrong, they don't have a big.
Right.
They need more front court depth, like from a pure basketball perspective. Of course, the roster can be better, needs to be better, and I think we've focused a lot of our time and energy and attention on that after Brad Stevens made the comments he did in his end of season press conference. But I really think the comments Stevens was making at the time, talking about the deficiencies of the roster, we thought he was talking about the role players. I think he's talking about the Brown and Tatum duo. It's like, yeah, no, these guys have underachieved. They're not good enough together. It is what it is. That's how I read those comments now.
Which again, how he's not looking at the man who occupies his former job is crazy to me. Because I'm
with you.
I look at his coaching. Then I have trouble even getting to the Tatum Brown thing because of the coaching. Because in a 7-game series, when the other coach is an experienced professional coach, he makes adjustments. He figures out how to fix things that haven't gone well, as opposed to just saying, well, everything will keep going well. Nothing will go bad. Oh, and then when they go bad, it's like, well, we had some good looks.
No, the process was great. Actually, I think the process sucked.
Well,
I think your process sucks.
Well, that is, Brad basically said that at his press conference. I didn't think our looks were that great. And I was like, oh, he's making the change at coach. Nope.
Yeah, so this is the second year in a row Stevens has come out and said some things at a press conference where you're like, well, he's not on board with this philosophy. And then he is. So, I mean, Brad Stevens is... Listen, I think he's the best general manager in Boston, by far. I don't think there's anybody... I don't think there's a close second.
You're not a big Sweeney guy?
Real quick. Give me 90s. Later? You want to do Bruins
save
later?
the Sweeney. We're going hot on Celtics. I don't want to disrupt it, but yeah. The Sweeney was at work. Back at work. Clocked back in this weekend.
Gary and Canton. Hi, Gary.
Hi, guys. I just want a couple of things to clarify. I believe it was reported that the owner of the Bucks, Haslam, did not want Jaylen Brown because Jaylen Brown was a flight risk. Therefore, the Celtics could have thrown in 8 players. And if the owner doesn't want a guy, especially if he's paying him what he's going to be paying him, then there's nothing Brad Stevens could have done. I also agree with Matt about Brown and Tatum and that it's run its course. I don't think the Portland reported trade is as bad as you guys think it is. We're overrating Brown. We're overrating Brown by saying, oh, no matter what we get, it's not going to work. I think you can get rid of Brown or trade Brown and maybe get some pieces to make a better team. And we are not familiar with the players that Portland is offering. I look at the stats. I look at Scoot Henderson was once the number 2 pick in the draft. I look at the stats. The other fellow, I can't think of his name, averaged 21 points a game. It's not as bad as you think. So we are overrating Brown, but I want to get back to the Haslam thing and get your comments on it.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I appreciate it. I actually think you're hitting on an important point. On paper, whatever you trade Jaylen Brown for, and this is kind of what I've been getting at for the last 30 minutes here.
Shaedon Sharpe was the other backcourt member there.
Whatever you get for Jaylen Brown on paper is going to completely and totally underwhelm you as a Celtics fan because you are trading a star player and you're getting something lesser in return. However, I'm kind of with Gary where I say, I don't know if you're going to be, is it going to be any different? I mean, yeah, you might not build a championship roster if you trade Jaylen Brown, and maybe Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe and Jason Tatum is not a championship roster. I agree. It might not be. You know what also isn't a championship roster at this point? Brown and Tatum. Brown and Tatum, not a championship roster. They will not win a championship again together because Jaylen Brown wants to be a number one somewhere. That's the most important thing for him. And in the end, these guys continuously underperform in the playoffs. At what point do I say banging my head against the wall and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity?
One thing to, I don't even want to say clear up because we all heard the report too that Haslam was afraid of Tatum leaving. Tyler Hero might not play for the Bucks. They might. He has 1 year left on his deal. They might try to spin him off for picks or whatever they might do. So that part of it, to me, it's more that the Bucks didn't see Brown as a valuable trade chip. They didn't see that third team, and they saw Tyler Hero as a better opportunity for them.
And you know what? Maybe they're right about that.
Yeah, are we crazy? That's the question. We might be crazy.
Well, we might be.
I'm certainly crazy, but
we probably do overrate Jaylen Brown in Boston. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sure we do. Garvin?
Can I read? So the Haslam thing about he was concerned that Jaylen Brown would be a flight risk. Can I read something that Yahoo Sports Kelly, I believe it's Eco, was saying before this trade went down? Quote, given that the Celtics offer is contingent on Jaylen Brown's inclusion, despite a denial that has amused rival executives, there's an increasing sense that not only is Brown comfortable with the idea of leaving Boston and being traded to Milwaukee, but is hoping to find a resolution over the next 48 hours, league sources said. So the idea that Jaylen Brown had no interest in playing Milwaukee, that's made up. I don't know where the caller got that. Jimmy Haslam, I think, was more spooked by the idea that he was going to have to go through something with Myles Garrett. We're like, yeah, congratulations, Jimmy. Much like the Cleveland Browns, you are running a really poor franchise, and people don't want to play for you. I think Jaylen Brown, at that time at least, based on that reporting, would have been interested in at least going to Milwaukee. Then at that point, again, Tyler Hero might not play there either because whether you have Jaylen Brown, Tyler Hero, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks and you move Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're not contending. So it doesn't matter if you have Jaylen Brown or Tyler Hero. And if you end up flipping those for more assets to contend in 2032 or whatever, that might make more sense. But the idea that Jaylen Brown that Jimmy Haslam picked the Heat offer over the Celtics offer has nothing to do with whether Jaylen Brown wanted to play in Milwaukee or not.
Jake in the suburbs. Hi, Jake.
Hey, I think the Paul George Gilgeous-Alexander trade almost set an impossible standard for, what we should expect out of a trade like this because no one's going to make the same mistake that the Clippers did. So I've kind of resigned to the fact that it's kind of one or the other upcoming player or picks. And I really do actually think I'm with you in that I think an upcoming player is the better option if they have to go that route because I do trust Stevens' ability to identify talent in the league and find someone who maybe is a year or two in who has a lot of growth potential and who complements Tatum better. And I'd much rather have that than run the risk of, getting 3 or 4 picks or whatever it is and having them end up in, all in the 15, 20, 25 range. And then, we can't have delusions of grandeur that they're going to end up like the Nets picks. So,
you couldn't be more right about that. We are so, we have such a distorted perception of draft picks in Boston because
Mikhail Prokhorov hooked you up.
Right, because the Nets trade was, such a franchise-altering decision.
Listen, anytime you can get Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Jason Terry all on their last legs, and you can give up 2 picks that end up in the top 6, you got to do it.
That also wasn't, that deal was made entering 2013.
Correct.
The draft picks were for 15, 16, and 17?
Oh, right. I said top 6 because I was thinking Marcus Smart, but that was the Celtics picks. That's when they blew, that's when they screwed up tanking.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah,
Marcus Smart.
Both
that
top
was their
3
own,
picks.
That was their own pick.
You had the number 1 pick, which you traded, and then you had the number 3 pick in Jaylen Brown.
That was about 3 years out. Most of these draft picks that you are now and the Bucks acquired were in the 2030s. There is nothing more overrated in all of sports right now than the unprotected first-round draft pick in the 2030s. Hurley, the super volcano will have gotten us by the time 2032 rolls around. Who cares? We'll all be dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And you know what? Even if we somehow find a way to manage to not destroy the earth that we're living on and we'll all be dead by 2032.
Okay.
Who's to say the Miami Heat are going to be bad in 2032? You know what I cannot predict? the end of the earth, and I also cannot predict whether or not the Miami Heat or any basketball team, any of the how many teams in the league?
30.
Any of the 30 NBA teams, I have no idea what their record is going to be in 2032.
Right.
No clue. Getting draft picks that far out in advance is the dumbest pursuit in all of sports.
No. It's fine if you're resetting. If you're trading away your stars, the guys that are Hall of Famers, then it's fine because it's 2013. You set yourself up for 2016 and 2017. You do that now, you have a 28-year-old superstar in his prime. That's the part that doesn't make it. Like, what does it do for the Boston Celtics and Jason? You might as well trade him too and just set it up, and maybe in the 2030s you can compete for championships again.
This is why getting players in return for Brown is so much better, because you're right. Getting a 2035 draft pick doesn't matter for Jason Tatum when he's going to be out of the league. Now, the reason you're probably doing that is you're saying, well, I'm then going to,
next one.
I'm going to flip that draft pick for a superstar a year or two from now, whenever he becomes available, and I'll use those. My question to you is this: why aren't your draft picks worth exactly what the draft picks would be worth getting from the Portland Trailblazers in 2034? If a team is making a deal with you to get a 2034 first-round pick, aren't they also betting that the Boston Celtics will suck in 2034 because Tatum and X will be old, broken down, retired by then? So your draft picks are worth exactly what the Portland Trailblazers draft picks are worth in 2034. They are. Get me players now, and if you want to then go out and add a star player later on, you will have the assets and the ammunition to do that with your own draft picks. You don't need anybody else's draft picks. It's the most overrated pursuit in all of sports right now, especially for the Boston Celtics. We'll continue. I see you on the phone lines. We'll get to you. Matt McCarthy, Michael Hurley on the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
to call because these owners, Matt, how can anybody like these owners?
Oh,
all of them.
They're
all of them.
Yeah.
I want them all fired. How do you do that? I don't know how to do it.
I'm
angry.
Win the lottery 10 times over, and then you buy the full league, Pat. That's how you do it.
And you know what? This U.S. soccer stuff is kind of fun. That Mbappe guy, just watch this guy.
He's amazing.
This guy's amazing. I don't even know. Like, I'm not a soccer guy. It's like poetry in motion. You know what I mean?
Oh,
anyways, thank you, Matt. Thank you.
You see it, Pat. I have to give...
You went to the World Cup.
I did.
I saw your post about it.
It was awesome.
The most positive I've ever heard you talk about anything.
Dude, it's my favorite sporting event ever. Truly, I love the World Cup every 4 years. I get so into it.
It's in your backyard.
It's in my backyard. It was just great. I had such a great time. The energy, the fans. It's not good. I mean, it was a competitive game. Norway then took over in the second half and blew out Iraq. But it's a lot of action, a lot of goals, 5 goals in the game. Red Sox that week put up 4 runs at home. I saw 5 goals in one day at Gillette Stadium, so that was pretty good. But it's just been great. I think people have really gotten into it. In every 4 years, the World Cup picks up more momentum in the United States, obviously having it here in our backyard, enjoying the energy of it, enjoying, the quality of it. I think it's the type of thing, it's like if you get exposed to it, Hurley, and you see the quality of play, like as Pat just said, he's like, I'm not really a soccer guy, but I watch Mbappe play and I'm just blown away.
Yeah, I think just having it here and so spread out and everywhere, like it's touching different areas of the continent in ways that I don't know how many host cities there were in '94. Probably fewer than this year because it feels like there's at least a dozen this year.
Yeah, I mean it's a different era too. It's social media. I can tell you how many friends from out of town are like, dude, the Scots look amazing. Are they as amazing as they look? I'm like, yes, the Scots are incredible.
Yeah.
They're awesome. They're so much fun.
Super John McGinn.
I mean, no Scotland, no party.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I was at Fenway that Sunday night.
Oh, really? Were you? They're great.
They were great. The Red Sox were not, but no. Even like my father.
I mean, they're great fans. Their football team, they are trash.
Yeah.
It's a tough watch, but
they won a match.
Probably shouldn't have.
My father was telling me he had a gathering at his house for soccer, which is a first in the history of I think anyone. Like the people that aren't soccer people are getting into it. So the fact that the U.S. has, I think, a friendly draw in the round of 32. We'll see what happens after that. I think it would be Belgium.
Belgium does not scare me. I will tell you right now. I mean,
everyone scares me if you're talking about U.S. soccer.
They do in the sense that they are a true second-tier team in the world and have been for quite some time. You
get Belgium or Senegal.
Yeah, honestly, give me Belgium at this point.
Really?
Give me Belgium. And I know they put up 4 or 5 goals on New Zealand. They didn't look good for even parts of that game. They are well past their prime, well past their golden era. Lukaku looks like he ate Lukaku. De Bruyne is old. Courtois is old. A lot of Hazard's gone. Company's gone. They were capable of winning the World Cup for 3 straight World Cups. They're not capable of winning it anymore. We should be at the point where we're beating over the hill used to be great European sides.
Unfortunately, let's say you do get through there, then you get either Spain or Portugal in the round of 16.
I'll tell you who does not scare me, Portugal, because they're going to let Ronaldo go out there and be a shell of himself. If Portugal somehow manages to knock off Spain, the United States will beat Portugal on home soil. I don't think we'll beat Spain, but Spain is one of the 6 or 7 countries is actually capable of winning the World Cup.
Yeah,
there is still a separation between the best of the best, the blue bloods in soccer, and the second tier. But what I think the United States is hopefully doing in this tournament is definitively adding themselves to the second tier, the best of the rest. We should be what Belgium was during their golden era, which is a team that is going to go deep into the World Cup. They're a tough out, and in the end, they just don't have enough because they're Belgium and they're a small country. But in the United States, we just won't have enough because even though we're a huge country, soccer is the 4th most popular sport in the country, probably. Now, with kids being into it more than just about any other sport. Maybe that changes in 20 years. I mean, there's been a lot of pressure,
Been saying that for a while, but you never know.
Let me ask you this. You have kids.
Yeah.
Do you go into school for events and everything, with the kids?
Oh, yeah. They love their Messi jerseys. They love their Ronaldo jerseys for sure. There's posters and stuff that didn't exist when I was a kid.
You go into any elementary school, there are more Messi jerseys than there are Drake May jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
Kids love the sport. Love the sport. My generation really enjoys the sport. There's been a lot of growth there. But yeah, I think the United States has absolutely a chance to make the quarterfinals in this tournament. That's how I feel about it.
At the very least, I have more of an interest in soccer going forward than I would have before this. So I'm so fascinated by these fan bases. Like at this point in my life, I watch how other fans in football games, and maybe college football is probably the closest equivalent we have to that fervor, that fandom that exists overseas. But I'm starting to do digging on rivalries in soccer that are 100 years. I was watching videos on the Old Firm, which is in the Scottish Premier League, two teams that are based in Glasgow that have been playing each other for it's a bloodbath.
Celtic and Rangers,
right? And their games are wild, and the fans, I've never seen anything like it.
Isn't that a Catholic Protestant thing too?
It might be. So that's what I'm saying. It goes so much deeper than sports fandom here. So I think really the only equivalent I can make is college football.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't think it rises to the level of how I saw those crowds reacting in the Old Firm rivalry, even some of the English Premier League stuff. So the point I'm making is once this is over, and ultimately, if the United States doesn't win, I don't really care because I'm enjoying watching all of these other games. Again, what the caller was saying, the quality is there with the stars.
It's incredible.
Going forward, I will start looking for, on the calendar, when do some of these, top-end Premier League teams start playing each other? When do the Old Firm, when do those guys play again? That's the stuff I want to look at. And then maybe that could be my gateway into actually being a soccer fan instead of just a World Cup fan.
It's a great way to describe it. Ryan, because the World Cup every 4 years is a gateway to the sport. And I think a lot of us have had this experience. Mine was in 2006. And I watched the World Cup really for the first time. I watched a little in 2002 and a very little in 1998 because my friend had FIFA 98 and he taught me about Ronaldo, and that was cool and all that. But 2006 was the first time I watched in the group stage. I'm this is awesome. This is great. What a cool... And I watched all the way through, and I watched Zidane headbutt Materazzi, and I was
that was crazy.
Once the Zidane moment happened, and I'm in. This is the greatest sport on Earth. This is the greatest event on planet Earth. This is the greatest tournament on planet Earth.
We got to get the Italians back in this tournament.
Well, maybe when they advance to 64 teams in 2030, if they do end up going to 64 teams, maybe finally Italy will be able to qualify.
We need to get Italy back in the tournament.
Losers.
We got to get Italy back in there. It's good for the TV show at the very least.
It's great for the TV show. Fail to qualify in 2018, win Euro in between, fail to qualify in 22, fail to qualify in 26 because they don't take it seriously. Losers. The Italian national football team, losers.
They'll be back.
You want to talk about...
Got to get Italy back in
You
there.
want to talk about Celtics level of underachievement.
How is Scotland in the World Cup and Italy's not?
Yeah, because they're losers and they don't take qualifying seriously.
Yeah.
They've missed the World Cup 3 times in a row. Yeah. You still can't bother them to show up for the game. So guys, you actually do need to qualify for the tournament. They'll probably win Euro in 28 because they just make it there. So yeah, when you go to 64 teams finally, maybe Italy will get there. Maybe we'll get Ireland too. We'll get Ireland and Italy out of the NIT, and we'll get them into the World Cup.
I was thinking there should be an NIT for when there's not a World Cup game on. I'd watch Italy, Ireland right now.
We have it. It's called the CONCACAF.
And
I was looking. I'm when is the CONCACAF coming back? I'll watch that.
So
that's our opportunity to win something.
I'm saying we got to run it simultaneous to the World Cup to sort of sate your desires when. Right now, there's one game today at 3. One match, excuse me.
What if just one game today?
Give me an NIT quarterfinal today. I'm in.
I'd be in on that.
So Matt, thank you for mentioning it. It sucks. Does it though? Because the thing that I've been experiencing the last couple of days, like it's great that we have all these games on, but now we are at the point where some of the games that have been playing, maybe like Egypt withstanding, because I think you and I were sharing a brain on how that whole thing went down.
Oh, you mean the massive example of corruption at the end of the Egypt-Iran game?
Almighty. No. That was bad. But like just not... games not having the same significance that they did at the beginning where you are playing for standings. And I was feeling it a little bit. I'm like, I'm enjoying these games, but the teams 100% are not playing like there is anything at stake. So now going forward, now the games start to matter again. And if you're only going to give me one game, I'm going to sit there and watch it because now we're starting to cut some more teams out, and I am all for that.
You're hitting on a really important point. So I'm Mr. Soccer here at the station, which is, by the way, not a hard thing, not a hard moniker to earn.
It's you, it's Kendra, it's Skaz. Like you guys are my go-to for like picking your brain on all things soccer.
You want like a nuts and bolts soccer take here, Hurley? You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
They need to expand to 64 teams in the World Cup.
So you don't agree? I was just reading the quote from Ghana manager Carlos Queiroz.
Yeah.
Do you know what he said about the expansion to 48?
What did he say about that?
He said so I want to find the right word. So he said, you run the risk of the competition turning into a, quote, vulgar, ordinary competition.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that from Ghana's coach
vulgar.
After the way they parked the bus the other day against England. And, I mean, that was most of the games have been great.
That was what,
that
Monday?
Game was an impossible watch.
Was that at Gillette, right?
What a tractor pull. Imagine paying $1,000 to go to that game. Because you did.
Tuesday, yeah.
Oh,
right?
Man. Well, because Ghana had no interest in scoring. They're like, we want the point. And England, because they're going to find a way to disappoint again in this tournament, had no idea how to break them down. So you got a riveting, scoreless draw where Ghana, anytime they touch the ball, they're like, we don't want this. You can take this. We're going to defend. That was a tractor
booted
ball.
To the other end of the pitch.
I don't want to hear that from Ghana. I understand, though.
Also, don't, if you're buying World Cup tickets next time, make sure, to your point, Garvin, don't buy tickets to the third game in group play.
So that's why you need to advance to 64. It's a math problem. It's not a quality problem. Yes, there's at the end of in the World Cup, there are always going to be teams that are going to get boat raced, dog walked, however you want to describe it. I mean, Tunisia. My brother's a big soccer guy, like knows way more about the sport than me. So we were looking at some of the matches, and he said, let me tell you something. This is before Sweden played Tunisia in the first game. He's like, that Tunisian team is a disgrace to the sport. And he was right. He couldn't have been more right. I mean, they fired their coach after the first game. I think they gave up something like 15 goals in 3 games. I mean, they were an absolute.
They played Germany first?
No, they played Sweden first.
Okay. Then I know Germany blew some team out.
Curacao.
Curacao.
There are always going to be teams like Tunisia and Curacao who go to the World Cup. They give up 15 goals in 3 games, and that's that, right? So that existed in the 32-team format. It existed in the 48-team format. It'll exist in the 64-team format. It's a math thing more than a quality thing. It's
vulgar.
Vulgar. You know what? Some of the terminology they use overseas to describe the sport is just tremendous.
That's what I'm saying. Like the coaches, the players. Like I missed the whole Zlatan Ibrahimovic era of soccer, and now I'm like going back and researching this guy. Like that's the whole. Like we have our superstars here, and I'm not going to say every single one, but the superstars that they have overseas are like some of the biggest, like psycho divas that you will ever see. And from a pure entertainment standpoint, which is I think the only thing that matters to me anymore as I get older, it's incredible theater.
There is nothing like a soccer scandal. You think we have scandals here in the United States with our athletes, our teams, whatever. There is nothing in comparison to the soccer scandals that come out of Europe. I mean, they are 10 times out of 10.
You'll have guys that are just like, hey, they'll bench a star. I can't remember what it was benched a star player. And then in the next game, they're like, hey, we need you. And he's like, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And what you would get over here, if anything like that ever happened, I could just hear like Chad Tracy be like, we decided to make a different decision, blah, blah, blah. The coach was like, he didn't want to play.
Yeah, he refused to play. He's a loser. I hate him. I hate his family. I hate like everything. 2010, Brazilian defender Felipe Melo was branded as the father of defeat. He committed a red card against he and a couple other players as they returned to Brazil.
That's a cool name.
Branded as the father of defeat. So he gets back there. He has to take a taxi home. The media find a way to track down his dad, Felipe Melo's dad, after he gets red carded against the Netherlands in the quarterfinals and, costs them the game. His own father, quoted to the media, said, again, and I quote, "I knew he would crack," unquote.
This is the stuff I need.
No, that is soccer. You want another a crazy soccer story I heard? So this was in the African Cup of Nations. So it's the Continental Championship for Africa. This is, I believe, I think it was Morocco versus Senegal. There is an absolutely criminal penalty that is handed out to against Senegal to Morocco. Senegal is so aggrieved by what they believe to be a corrupt penalty kick decision. They leave the field in protest. They refuse to play. One of the Senegalese players finally convinces these guys to go back out and finish the game like a half hour later. So they show up on the pitch to play the rest of the game. It is believed that the Moroccan player, too, thought the decision was so corrupt and so criminal that he skied the penalty, kicked it over. He's like, I'm a man of honor. I cannot put this ball in the back of the net. Skies the penalty. Senegal comes back, wins the game. 3 weeks later, the people who run soccer in Africa say, "Oh yeah, by the way, Senegal didn't win that game. They left the pitch. Morocco, you are champions of Africa." Can you imagine that happening here?
I just found a 20-minute video of controversy erupts in the final minutes as Brahim Diaz misses a penalty in the AFCON. I guess it's the final. I am bookmarking it, and as soon as we are done here at 2:00, I am going home and I am watching this video. This is the kind of stuff. Again, this is my gateway.
It's tremendous.
You need that to get to people like me who have never given your sport a chance, and now I am completely open-minded to it. If this is the kind of entertainment drama that you are going to give me on a weekly or even monthly basis, I am all in for that kind of stuff.
What a flop! What a flop that was.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Can you show me this?
Yeah, look at number 10 here. Flop City just throws his whole body. I mean, there was some contact, but it was not. You've seen in this World Cup for a penalty to be called in the box, it has to be basically attempted murder.
But you bring up a great point here with the drama of that, and it's something as I've been watching these games that I realize it's so different in American sports now, especially over the last couple of years.
We're so soft.
Where it's not even a softness thing, Matt. It's more
care.
of if somebody gets fouled in an NBA game, well, we stop first. Then we got to go to the replay. Now we got to determine. And so the game will stop for 4 minutes, 5 minutes at a time. So we can see, is it a flagrant one? Is it a flagrant two? How many free throws? Oh, no, it's just a common foul. Now we're back. I'm like, I am so over having my time wasted like that by, essentially circumcising the mosquito every single time something happens.
Doesn't happen in soccer.
In these games, you see referees in real time start to lose control of the game. And I miss that. I miss getting mad at umpires. I miss getting mad at referees for being human. It adds drama to the game itself. And it's like in football, hockey, we got to see if there's offsides by a boot length or whatever.
Well, we're doing that.
It's gotten out of control here. And if the pace of these games, the way that they're we're not going to stop. And if you get hurt, roll your ass to the sideline and figure it out and play down one person. And we're just going to keep going. I miss that in American sports. And I think with having instant replay for every single thing, we're challenging balls and strikes for crying out loud. We have gone so far away from just the drama in the theater of sports that this is where I have to go now in order to kind of get that feeling back to actually care about something.
We've got to kill VAR. Talk about you've seen goals just taken off the board. Last night there was one.
Yeah, no, soccer they need more goals.
And it's one of those things, and people will stand by.
The Iran-Egypt game was
that one, the one last night in Portugal, Colombia. There are people who believe that that's real. That's not real.
No,
that little imaginary computer line, they could do that whenever they want. When they pause when the ball's kicked, that's all so. If you want
the fakest thing I've ever seen.
If you want to really analyze those things, put a line in the field like hockey does. Until then, you can't act like there is an actual scientific line that has been crossed by 1 inch by a toe. And that's why we got to take a goal off the board. It's insane.
Guys, I miss human error. I miss human error.
Well, that's not even an error. There was not an error. There was no reason to take that goal
but
out.
That's why that is there, Michael.
It was deliberate.
There's leeway. There's some gray area.
But it's all there to combat human error.
It's there to hide the corruption. That's what it's there for.
Watching these games the last couple of weeks, I'm like, I miss getting mad at referees. I really do.
There still is more of that in soccer right now because there is less arguing with the computer. They will put that screen up there on VAR, but other than that, there is,
The one last night was criminal.
Oh, I mean, the corruption in the sport is rampant.
Well, and I was thinking,
Iran was it was one of those things. I'm like, I didn't care about it, and then it happened, and I couldn't sleep. I was like, what just happened?
Well, because I thought
completely changed all the standings.
Last night, Colombia scored, and Congo was playing at the same time, and I was doing the math. I'm like, if Portugal loses, are they out? Are they just trying to force Ronaldo forward? But Portugal was moving on anyway.
But that's why you need to go to 64 teams, because the eight third place teams advancing has created a lot of duds on match day 3. Match day 3 used to be absolute chaos, and there has been some here at the very end of match day 3 because there are teams sitting at home waiting to see if they're advancing. No, I like the live drama of, you are right now in third place in the group, you're not advancing. You have to go to 64 teams to make the math work.
So do you this is a debate I had when I was working with Barth last week. I believe he said he didn't like the live standings in real time.
I love the live standings.
You get that? I finally realized what that was when you get that little boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
They're putting the score of the other game up, and you can hear the crowd react in real time when they see a goal. I love that stuff.
Oh, it's great.
It's purely a soccer thing where they're keeping track of the goal differential and how it affects your standing, aggregate stuff like that. I find it very interesting because we don't really have anything like it in American sports.
No, and
maybe in the old days with the Fenway scoreboard. The guy comes out there with his ladder and changes the Yankee score,
Right.
and everyone gets a pop. You don't get that anymore.
Real quick, Chuck in Brighton. Hi, Chuck.
Hey, so you mentioned before about comparing American and European stars in levels of scandal, and I'll give you the Europeans have a head up on divas. I mean, it's hard to meet Zlatan, although AI, Allen Iverson, we're talking about practice. It gets close. But as far as actual scandal, let me just give you a couple things, because I think scandalous American players are way ahead of the Europeans, even on the small stuff. If you just look at Deflategate, shout out to Michael Hurley.
Oh, yeah.
That consumed Boston for years and the nation. And then on more significant, just look at Tiger Woods or Aaron Hernandez or Mike Tyson or O.J. Simpson. America is the land of scandal.
Well, those are more hardcore scandals. The best part about the
this is the major leagues right there.
Yeah, no, that's criminal scandals. Most of the scandals involving the European soccer, it's something so absurd, more along the lines of Deflategate. There's a lot of that.
There was a game I saw, as I've been doing more digging on Zlatan, who the caller just mentioned. There was a game where they had clinched whatever league that he was playing in at the time, and he wanted out of the game. He was demonstrative, get me out. And the manager was a MFer because he started just pulling every other person. And finally, Zlatan scored a goal and thought, okay, I'm out. Manager pulled the goalie first. And then so the next time Zlatan got down the field, because he's so much bigger than everybody else, he had an open goal and he just booted it into the stands. I'm like, and just laid down. He was like, I'm done. Take me out. That's the kind of crazy crap that I want more of that.
Oh,
I
Get
can't
ready,
get
man.
enough of it.
Get ready. Welcome to soccer. I'm glad this has been your gateway. There is the absurdity in this sport is unmatched. Hey, Michael Hurley.
Yes.
How well do you know the world?
Oh, I'm like a B- geography-wise.
We're about to find out.
Oh, brother.
All right.
Don't embarrass me.
We will.
Okay.
We're going to play a little game I want to call Where in the World is Michael Hurley? We're going to do that,
I like that
next.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, whoa. How about that? Some knowledge right there.
Yeah, I know where Spain is. I know where Italy is. It's a boot. You ever seen it?
Yeah. They're not in the World Cup. I don't know if you're aware of that. It once again failed to.
One of 8 nations to have taken it home.
You know your stuff.
A little bit.
We're about to find out.
All right.
Just if you really know your stuff. Which round of 32 matchup has the longest straight line sailing route between those two countries?
Oh, brother. Well, let's see.
You can pull up the bracket here. If you
Oh,
need help.
I can.
You can pull up the bracket.
Because did Japan make it?
Japan did make it.
So we gotta start there. I'm gonna bring up my bracket.
So Japan versus Brazil.
I'm just going. Yeah, it's got to be Brazil, Japan. No. Wait, straight line. You can't sail it. You got to go all the way around South America.
Straight line, baby. Straight line.
Australia. Australia, Egypt.
Can you do that in a straight line?
So you're throwing some twists at me here.
No. The answer is no.
No. So how many straight lines can we go? Like U.S. It's a matchup though.
The answer, my
You're
friend.
throwing me off.
The answer, my
South
friend.
Africa and Canada.
South Africa and Canada. Well done.
Newfoundland down to South Africa. That's a long sail.
But it's a straight line, my friend.
I don't recommend it. Day 11 on the boat, you might get a little sick.
Michael Hurley, which country has the lowest population density playing at this World Cup?
Cape Verde?
Incorrect.
Oh, density.
Density, my friend.
Density. Oh, Canada. There's like 7 people that live in Canada. Very low number of residents. Huge land.
Yeah.
That was a good guess. People might say, what an idiot.
No, that was a strong guess.
So population density, that's a tricky one to really lay out. I like my Canada guess, so I'm just going to stick with that and say I was wrong.
Yeah, that would be Australia.
That's like the Canada of the Southern Hemisphere.
Do they have anything to
both speak weird? Yeah.
Some coastal
Canada has the
residents.
Northern Territories. They don't.
The Western Territory.
Game of Thrones kind of stuff. Does Australia have like an equivalent where it's like
I believe
know
the Western Territory.
The Western
yeah.
Territory.
Oh my goodness.
So there's like Sydney, Melbourne, like the whole like east and southeast coast there.
Which is where everybody lives in Australia.
Yeah, I think that's the whole of it. There is a city out west. I can't think of it. Adelaide? No, that's still in that
Perth.
area.
Perth is out west.
Out west.
That's in the Western Territory. Don't they have the Northern Territory too? Or is that Queensland?
Queensland's there. There's people.
There's New South Wales.
Yeah, that's where Sydney is. I've been there.
Yeah.
Very far away.
You've been to Australia.
I have.
What was it like? Did you see the kangaroos?
I didn't see a
the
kangaroo.
dingoes?
I saw a wallaby. I saw a man about a wallaby.
42 Wallaby Way, Sydney?
Yeah. It was the cities, like if you're going to Australia, I was lucky enough to stay outside of Sydney. Like my friend was studying abroad, so we were in Wollongong.
I'm sorry, the where?
Wollongong. You're not familiar? I found that much more enjoyable. When you're in Sydney, it's like this could be Chicago, this could be any city, but getting out into the sort of suburbs, that was cool.
Well, it's Australia. There you go.
It's a hike, though.
It's a long way.
Cannot actually recommend the travel unless you've really got nothing else going on.
Paraguay. Paraguay plays here tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's the capital of Paraguay?
Oh, man. See, you're catching me at the wrong time. If you caught me in 7th, 8th grade, like there's no thought. You got to give me a hint. I got to cheat a little bit.
Begins with A.
Oh, you got to give me a bigger hint.
I think this would probably have some religious undertone.
The capital of Paraguay. If you gave me like 3 cities and let me choose one, I guess you told me it starts with A.
I think that is a good hit, Matt. Religious undertone.
Yeah.
Ave Maria. Ascension?
Ascension! Oh!
Really?
I assume that means the ascension.
Probably.
Or ascending.
Sure.
Ascension.
Wow.
That would be
And
my
if anyone's
guess.
listening, they're like, he Googled it. I'm Google free over here.
Wow. Well done.
Pulled that one out of somewhere.
Well done.
Give me 3 chances at anything. I might get it right.
Hurley, name the 2 countries in this tournament that have played each other that each have 7 letters and each begin and end with A.
Argentina. Nope. Australia. Austria. There's got to be 1. Is that 7?
That is 1.
All right. Austria. Albania? I'm not counting
They're
anymore.
not even in the tournament, my
I'm just
friend.
thinking A, starts with A, ends
The
with A.
Albanian soccer team was like, oh, are we supposed to be somewhere?
A. Starts with A, ends with A, 7 letters.
Mm-hmm. This game happened a couple nights ago.
Austria versus. It's probably an obvious one then. Ooh.
Commercial.
I don't know.
That would be Algeria.
Oh, you got to get.
We were just talking about this game.
Algeria, did they defeat the United States in 2000? No, it was Ghana, 2010.
No, Algeria was the team the United States beat on the Donovan goal. Again, another criminal. We're not advancing. We're just going to pack it in, park the bus, and try and screw you. Suck on that, Algeria.
That's right.
I've hated Algeria ever since.
Well,
they're football town.
Bad blood.
I don't know anything about Algeria. It's on the Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's big. Big country.
Big country.
Big country.
Big country.
Huge. Sneaky huge. Algeria.
A lot of big countries.
Yeah, a lot of land.
How about small countries?
Oh, boy.
Which team is the smallest team by both population and physical size to ever qualify for the World Cup?
That's got to be Cape Verde.
It is not.
Okay.
At least according to intern Cece, because that would have been my guess.
We're smaller.
Intern Cece researched all of this stuff. So she goes to Ithaca College, so I'm going to trust that it's correct. It's a fine academic institution.
And they qualified this year?
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, Curacao. Come on, Michael.
Curacao.
Come on.
Little League World Series powerhouse, Curacao.
Yeah.
Not a World Cup powerhouse, though.
Very, very small. I remember reading about them. I don't know if it was... Is Rafaela from Curacao?
He is, yeah.
Small country. Population?
Tiny.
156,000 people. That's like one apartment building.
156,000?
They're up to 158. They've been reproduced.
They're smaller than Worcester.
And they're in the World Cup. It's incredible.
Yeah, hey, Worcester, let me know when you qualify for the World Cup, huh? Worcester!
Playing soccer!
So they're all the way down by South America, basically. They're one of those islands.
Yeah.
Not it's Caribbean Sea, but like way south.
The Dutch Antilles.
Like Aruba.
Yeah. Nailed it.
That sounds right.
I'm looking at a map. That's
ABC, right? The Dutch, Aruba, Barbados, and Curacao.
If you say so. I don't get into the rule as much, you know.
The rule, oh yeah.
The ruling,
like
the ruling
rules where. I did get a call from somebody a few weeks ago saying any run the United States would have would be tainted because they have guys like Flo Balogun who, were born here, but dual citizen. To which I would say you probably should pay attention to just about every powerhouse at the World Cup. They generally rely on their colonies or former colonies to make up some of their team. Yeah.
That was, if I read correctly, the mother tried to fly while very pregnant and was not allowed to fly out of New York, and that's why he was born in America, right?
Therefore, he was born here, and thank God for that. So
how about that?
Just keep everybody here. Yeah, we gotta fuel our soccer team, baby. I want to win a World Cup one day. Damn it!
Just corralling all the pregnant women and hoping they have little soccer stars in the womb.
Exactly.
Any more questions?
I mean, I could come up with a few. I always like capitals. What's the capital of Qatar? I gotta look that one up. Isn't it Qatar? Qatar City?
I was gonna say Qatar City as the guess, but probably not it.
Yeah. Qatar.
It is not.
It's not Qatar City?
I used to crush world capitals.
Doha.
Doha? Yeah, actually, you should have known that. There was a World Cup there.
4 years ago.
That was a long time ago, Matt.
It sure was. Isn't that one of the problems is like you build all this, as Ryan would say, like interest in soccer, and then it only happens every 4 years?
That's why I was looking when the CONCACAF happens.
You do not want to get involved in CONCACAF,
no.
my friend. You want to pick a Premier League
You know what?
team.
Let me figure that out for myself. All right, let me get my hopes up just to feel something, only to be disappointed.
You got to pick a Premier League team. That's what you need to do.
I'm not built like that though. I can't just go. You're my team now. Individuals, that's more my speed as an MMA guy. Like I can find the individual story, but I don't know if I could just go. Yeah, you know who I like now? Tottenham Hotspurs or whatever.
So. That's the biggest problem.
Aston Villa.
It's the biggest problem that soccer faces in the United States. I got a take on this.
True allegiance.
True allegiance.
You kind of feel like a phony, right?
Yeah, my team is West Ham United. You know when I found out West Ham United got relegated out of the Premier League? A week after it happened. So, like my team, I'm devastated though. We've got Crescencio Somerville. I just found out in this World Cup we have Crescencio Somerville, who looks awesome for the Dutch. He probably will no longer play for us, my beloved West Ham United, because we're now in the championship. So I'm sure he's gone. But now I'm devastated. I just found out he was on West Ham. Not anymore.
Damn.
It's going to be tough.
Tough break.
Tough
Turn the
blow.
tables on you before we end this.
Sure.
United States plays Bosnia-Herzegovina on Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
What's the capital?
Well, first of all, what is the capital of Bosnia?
This is one I wouldn't have gotten.
I should know this
when
because
I say
of
it, you're going to be pissed.
I am going to be pissed because that was a big thing in the 90s. It's an issue.
You didn't have the internet. You had books with state capitals and international capitals. First of all, I'll tell you
the greatest Onion article of all time: Clinton deploys vowels to Bosnia. The capital of Bosnia.
I'll tell you. In the meantime, some neighboring countries. You've got Serbia to the east.
Yeah.
You've got Montenegro to the southeast.
Sure.
Croatia to the north and southwest.
Yeah.
I thought they were closer to the Middle East. They're just straight up Eastern Europe.
Are they right on the Baltic?
Yeah,
they're right
on the ocean, buddy.
Coastal.
I'm not great with my former Yugoslavias.
Starts with a female's name that starts with S.
CC. Oh, no, that starts with a C.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna kick. I'm gonna kick myself. Sarajevo.
Yep.
See, here I was thinking Sarajevo was a country. I was like, is that a tiny? No, that's Kosovo. Sarajevo.
Aruba, Jamaica.
Ooh, I wanna
Kokomo
take you.
is also a place you want to go.
Not a real place though.
No.
So I found out.
Not off the Florida Keys.
No, definitely
Beach
not.
Boys lied to us.
Lying sacks of crap. We'll continue. Matt McCarthy, Michael Hurley on. Well done, Hurley.
That was fun. I don't think I did well, but I had fun.
You did better than most. Better.
Right.
I thought you were the Bedford Public Schools representing well.
I went to
Arlington.
I went to private school. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Look at
the
me.
Catholics.
Look at this big old brain of mine.
They didn't teach you about sailing straight lines. Those Catholics, did they?
You confused me with that because I thought we were talking theoretically. You can sail, just not in a straight. Every line's straight if you really.
You can make a line straight. We'll continue here on the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
in the show. I gotta counteract that any way I can. But anyways, the Sweeneyus was at work Friday night.
Yeah, sure. Friday night.
Well, yes, because Saturday they drafted a goalie in the second round.
That's always a good thing to do. I mean, it'd be a good thing if you were, I don't know, planning on moving on from your $8 million a year goalie, but they're definitely not interested in that.
Well, there's also the 10th ranked goalie that you took as the second goalie off the board. But anyways, I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to pretend like I was analyzing these prospects.
Real quick though, I trust the Bruins to draft, develop, and evaluate a goalie. They're good at that.
You don't need to do it in the second round.
I hear you on that. I agree. But if you're saying they took the 10th ranked guy, I actually trust that they got it right over other teams. You know why? Because for 25 years, the Bruins have been good net. They've been really good net. They're generally very, and of course, their miss is Malcolm Subban, but they are good in net.
How'd you know I was Googling him? How'd you know?
Subban.
Yeah.
Because that was a miss.
What was that? Second round? Oh, that was the first round pick. Whoops. Yeah. But yeah, no, it didn't hurt them at all. But no.
Chiarelli, though, wasn't it?
Oh, his back. Yeah.
Well, that probably would have been Chiarelli.
Probably, yeah. 2012. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he sucked.
Didn't work out. But no, the trade Friday night still, I feel like I'm in Bizarro world because everyone bashes Sweeney no matter what he does. This one seemed to be universally been like, oh, good deal. Good deal. And I'm very perplexed by that. And this is the trade for JJ Peterka, who is 24. Mm-hmm. He scored 25 goals at least in each of the last 3 years, so he scores. He's now on his third team in a year. He was traded last year to the Utah Mammoth from Buffalo for Josh Stone, who's a legit prospect who turned into an NHL player this year. They gave him a $38.5 million deal. 5 year, 30. They paid him real NHL money, $7.7 a year. 1 year after that, they're like, we should probably get rid of this guy. Who should we call? Let's call Don Sweeney. Let's see if he'll give us multiple first-round picks. So, listen, if you need to rebuild sort of they're going to say top six, I'll say middle six, and you got to trade 2 first-rounders to do it, that's fine if you have a guy making $700,000, $800,000. You just traded 2 first-round picks, and now you're paying $7.7 million to a guy that the team that just acquired him couldn't wait to get rid of. And I just feel like, I don't know why everyone's like, oh, well, it's a late first in the Florida one. That's going to be a late first. Oh, they're going to be good in 2 years. You don't know that. It feels as though this was a push to get something for the Marchand deal and have something to show for it. And you just replaced Victor Arvidsson, who you got last year for a 5th-round pick and paid $4 million. Okay? So you wanted Arvidsson last year. You got rid of a 5th-round pick, useless, and paid him $4 million. Totally fair salary. Got great production from him. He's going to make money as UFA. So how do you replace him? You trade 2 firsts and you pay a guy double that? And everyone's like, oh, good deal. I don't see the rebuilding. This is not a rebuilding process. This is like a patchwork Band-Aid and an extremely high price to pay for it.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And I tweeted this out the other night just because I was kind of stunned by the reaction I was seeing. I said, 2 first for a guy who is projectable. Yeah, I mean, they're making a projection here, so they might be right on it. But 2 first for a guy who had, 47 points in 82 games last year? Not to mention 2, which is the ultimate red flag. He's 24 years old and he's on his 3rd team. Scary. To your point, Utah gets him for a year. He's paid $7.7 million. He gets benched in the 3rd period in overtime of a Stanley Cup playoff game because he won't play defense. And they ship him out of town, and you give up 2 firsts for him? I mean, how many firsts did the Florida Panthers give up for Brady Tkachuk? 3 firsts?
3 firsts, and then you had the deal for what's his name from Vegas was 2 firsts and a 3rd. That's the guy who had 35 goals last year, led the Golden Knights in scoring. You got a guy who the Mammoth probably didn't want. I have a feeling the call went like this. Hey, Don, you want Peterka? Well, we really love the kid. It's going to probably cost maybe 4 first-round picks for us to say goodbye to him. And Don's like, I can't give you 4. I'll give you 3. And maybe Utah was like, we can't take 3. Well, how about 2? We'll give you a deal. We'll cut you a deal, Donnie. Remember us next time. 2 firsts.
I told them we already got 1. I mean, that's how it went down. I get it. Are those first-round picks worth all that much? Probably not. What's the 23rd overall pick worth? What's the Florida pick worth? I get that.
But this is an organization that was so stripped down draft pick-wise because of trade deadline after trade deadline where you say, this is the price on a guy, and Sweeney says, we'll pay. I'll pay a 1st and 3rd for Marcus Johansson, whatever it was. He always paid the highest possible amount to make additions to a team that was competing for a cup. you can criticize it, you can praise it, whatever it is. They were out of first, second, and third round picks for a long time. They finally restock it, and you trade it for a guy who's a guy. This is a guy. Right. This is someone you should be able to get in free agency, a player of that production for $4 million. This should be a player, or if you want to pay the 7.7, pay the 7.7 in free agency and don't give up the 2 firsts. It's just more about asset management more than it is about, oh, no, they missed out on pick number 23.
You couldn't be more spot on about that. And listen, maybe we're proven wrong. The offensive upside is there with him. It hasn't quite shown up yet. Now, he's a winger, so he's more of a goal scorer. He's scored pretty much 25 goals, I think, the last 3 years.
28, 27, 25. But we had Ty Anderson on yesterday, and he asked Buffalo, I guess, when they traded him, what's the deal? Young, promising player. The word he said was a lot of empty calorie points. So that's why Buffalo was happy or fine with not signing him as an RFA.
That's the red flag here is Buffalo moves on from a young player. Utah gets one look at him. They get 1 year and they say, we're good.
After giving him a real contract.
After making the playoffs. So this is a team that, listen, is new to town. They're new to the league, essentially. They are taking steps in the right direction. They made the playoffs here, and they say goodbye to a 24-year-old, and you're happy to give up 2 first-round picks for him? That's the red flag right there. It'd be one thing, Hurley, if this were, he's been on one team, they're headed in the wrong direction. They want to accumulate a whole bunch of assets. They didn't make the playoffs last year. They're going into a rebuild. Utah's not that. This is also his 3rd team at the age of 24. Now, maybe Sturm gets something out of him. Maybe you put him opposite of Pasternak, and that line becomes a force. The guy can fly. He's got offensive upside. So we
don't hate the addition.
No, I don't hate the addition. I just hate the cost of it.
Right. And it's the opportunity cost. It's you took an asset, you're paying the money and you paid the picks. To me, it's got to be one or the other. It's not like they needed one move. They are multiple moves away from getting back to being a real playoff team. You just scored you handcuffed yourself moving forward. If you trade 2 first-round picks, you better get a guy who costs half of that. Because what are you going to do in free agency?
Well, let's get to that next. 617-779-0985. What are they going to do in free agency? And what is the goal here, really? The Peterka trade indicates something to me with the Bruins that I want to get into on the other side. I see on the phone lines. We'll take care of you. 617-779-0985. We roll on. It's Matt McCarthy and Michael Hurley here on the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sport.
all of it. But I just did have a quick thought on the Peterka trade and what it ultimately signals for the Bruins here, Hurley. It's the type of move you make when you're more than content being a first or second round playoff team. He's under contract. He's going to score some goals for you. He's not going to defend all that much, but he'll do something. He'll be a fine compliment, I assume, maybe to Pasternak on the left side. Like that works. In the end, is he going to take you to the promised land? No, he's not. And they're okay with that. They're content with that. And in a few years, you're going to look at that and you're going to say he's a fine player. It's probably an overpay for who he is. And you're going to be maybe stuck with that contract.
Yeah, probably. I mean, to harp on it, I feel like talking Victor Arvidsson on a Sunday afternoon probably a bad idea, so I'll stop now. But he had 25 goals, 29 assists last year, only played 69 games. I think that's probably as good of production as you can expect from Peterka. And the Bruins last year, as we know, were not a playoff team.
Well, they were.
They weren't really a playoff.
I mean,
they made the playoffs. They gave you a glimmer of hope in that Buffalo series that they might win. And then that Sunday afternoon, speaking of Sunday afternoon downers.
Oh, boy. Well, no,
8-1.
Peterka, with his ability to back check, is really going to help them in that spot.
That's true. Yeah. What was the final score that day? I already forget.
6-0?
No, 6-1. They scored
6-1.
At the end, yeah.
They did. Pity goal.
I thought it was worse than that. I thought it was 8-1. So shout out to the Bruins. Better than I thought. So, yeah, a playoff team, but you know what I meant.
Matt and JP's been calling in today. Hey, Matt. Matthew.
Hey, Matt.
Oh, Matthew. He's into it.
Not the first Matt bored by my takes today.
I was going to say, sounded like we put him to sleep.
He heard Arvidsson. He's like, I'm out.
Can't do this. Howard and Randolph. Hi, Howard.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you doing today?
How you doing?
I have a question about the Celtics' revenue. I understand that's why Irving Grossbeck sold the team, because with this new collective bargaining and the players making over $50 million a year, it eats up a lot of the profits or revenue, whatever. Mm-hmm. My question is this. The Celtics do not own the stadium. I think they're the only team that doesn't. So the only money I can see they get, maybe you correct me, they get ticket sales, but they have to pay rent out of that. They don't get concession money. They don't get the advertising money in the Garden. They do get the money from Sports Channel and the NBA TV money, and I guess they get the merchandise license money, right? Is that pretty much the revenue they get? And if that's the case, why were they worth over $6 billion?
You're asking the wrong guy, Howard. Are you a business degree over there, Hurley?
I recently bought a concert ticket for $12 that I resold for $12.75. So I am a bit of a businessman.
Entrepreneur.
I mean, it was, it's pure profit right in my pocket, but no, it's, I guess, isn't that just what every sports team is? Like Gary Bettman was saying the Penguins should have had a higher valuation than what John Henry just sold them for, which was what? $1.4 billion or something. He basically doubled his investment in 5 years. Just sports teams cost that much. I don't know any other way to say it. Like there's got to be profit in there. You're right, but missing out on the building and the ticket sales and the suite sales, all that's. I mean, you get it, but you're obviously paying a premium rental fee. That's got to cut into it significantly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm no business guy, but the Celtics don't have the earning potential that another team would.
Yes.
So there are limitations, and there's, I'm sure, a reason why Irv wanted to sell. Also, the fact that he's in his 90s, and in the end, you got to take Wick's toy away. It's like, all right, time to sell this, so it's a lot cleaner, in a few years when we need to divvy up money and assets and all that, and it's not well, Wick gets the team, but nobody else gets the team. So I get it, I understand that. The building, though, it's a major issue for them. It's a limiting factor, and it's one of the major concerns I have with a bunch of private equity guys owning the team. It's they're going to operate, truly. All these guys operate like a business, but they're going to operate even more like a business than Wick certainly did when he got to play owner of the Boston Celtics.
And I still think, correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I ascribe reasons for things on my own without actually doing the research. So maybe I'm wrong, but it feels...
Welcome to the right business to do that.
Hell yeah. It just feels as though you had a decade or so where it was Cavs Warriors every year, locking into the finals, and that's why we have these aprons to punish you and basically prevent you from building these super teams. It feels like that's the bigger issue to me, where like the penalties. I guess the fact that there's a different champion every year is fun, but when you break down, you look at the players' salaries being what they are, you're talking about a potential $70+ million salary for Brown if he gets that 2-year extension. The way salaries are, building a team that really is complete is that much harder. So that's why I think we're all harping on the Porzingis holiday editions and saying, yeah, that'll never happen again, and saying, oh, it's because they're cheap or they're profit. I don't think you can anymore. I think the NBA has sort of put their foot down on that. And now what, 3 years into that era? Kind of sucks. Bring back the super teams. We all complained about it at the time, but it's better than like what's going to happen to the Thunder. You're going to watch the Knicks get dismantled. The Spurs have a good chance with a really young core and probably the best young player in the game of actually maybe going on a little bit of a dynastic run. But whoops, they forgot to win the first one. So there's I think if I was given the choice, extreme financial penalties for going over the aprons or super teams, I think it's give me Durant going to the Warriors.
Yeah, give me the super teams. I actually
give me Porzingis and Holiday joining the Celtics. It's just better.
I would agree. Dynasties are good for sports, good for the end. This is the first era in the NBA where there has not been a dynasty, and I think it's honestly hurt the product. I think there's a balance, right? You can't also have a situation where it's, well, it'll be Cavs Warriors in the finals again, and none of this matters. So parity, there has to be a little bit of parity in sports. But Hurley, I've had this take for a long time. Parity is the most overrated thing in sports. There's nothing, you as a fan don't care about the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks playing the World Series. You don't want that. You might say you hate the Dodgers and you don't want to see the Dodgers, but you know who you're going to tune in to watch and call in about and have a take about? The Dodgers. You're going to have a take about the Yankees. You're going to have a take about the Red Sox. There are about 8 to 10 teams in every sport, with the exception of the NFL, that matter. Other than that, you don't care. You don't want the Tampa Bay Rays and the Pittsburgh Pirates playing the World Series. You don't want that.
I would throw the Arizona Cardinals into that for the NFL. They're the team I just genuinely don't ever want to care about. But I did have some takes about the Arizona Diamondbacks when they were in the World Series a few years ago, and I want to make sure I have it right. They were in the World Series in 2023.
Yep.
They lost in 5 games. I had some takes on that team. Do you want to know what some of them were?
Sure. Why not?
Corbin Carroll. He's good.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't watch him play, but really good. Another was Evan Longoria. He's on that team, huh? That was a take.
Yep.
Swimming pool's still out there. That's cool.
Yeah.
They got that. You can go swimming during the game.
Sure.
That might have been it.
Those were your takes. Hot.
But I did have some takes, so.
You know what? Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you for even having a few.
That was a tough World Series.
Yeah. Can't have it.
Do you get depressed when the World Series is almost over?
Of course I do.
I get like anxiety. Like, what am I going to do tomorrow night if this is the last World Series game? And then it ends.
Start reading Greenfields of the Mind, crying.
I mean, it is football season, but there's just playoff baseball is so good, and then it's just over.
So
brutal.
When you need it the most, it's gone.
It's tough. Have you seen the meme? I'm ripping now. It's the Interstellar shot of Matthew McConaughey. No, and it's June me looking back at October me skipping a boring Thursday night football game. No, I'm feeling that these days. The World Cup coming through pretty clutch.
As clutch as this Red Sox season is a dumpster fire. Thank God for the World Cup. I don't know because it's going to lead us up pretty much to training camp.
Yeah, July 22nd is the final.
July 19th, I think.
It was in the ballpark. This isn't where in the world is Michael Hurley. This is just guess it kind of close.
I want the World Cup every 2 years. I've decided.
That's vulgar.
I know.
3? How about 3?
3's weird. Can't do every 3. That's odd.
Well, 3 times 2 is 6. 666, the sign of the devil.
Oh no! Oh well, we can't. No, we can't be doing that.
You got to keep it even.
Yeah. I mean that we might. What would the Ghanaian witch doctor say about that?
2 years. See, I miss when I was a kid. The Olympics were the same year, so you got to go 4 years without any Olympics.
Yeah.
You really thirsted for Olympics. Now the Olympics happens too much. You're like, oh, there's Olympics again. Oh, they're doing the ski jump. I like
See, the Olympics are different in the sense that, and I'm an Olympics guy. I don't know. Are you Olympics man over here?
Yes and no. Depends.
It's different because it's the winter. That's every 4 years.
Correct. They're each every 4 years, but they alternate it on the 2-year stretch.
And I like Euro. I watch Euro but I want a major soccer tournament to watch every summer.
But it will be less special. You've got to admit that. You got to be worried about that.
It would be less special, but I don't know. The older I get, I'm like, I just want to see more stuff before I die, you know?
Wow.
Make it morbid.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Never know when it might come for us, Hurley.
That's true. We're all just ants crawling around on this planet.
They do say the United States might get the World Cup in 2038, which is not that far away.
No. That's like I was at the country club in 2022 for the U.S. Open, and they had all these between like the first and I don't know. There was this area where they had all these signs. It's going to be here this year, here this
that's
year.
always a great thing at the U.S. Open.
And you're looking, and you're like, oh, it's coming back here in what, 2038?
2038.
And I'm like, geez, I'm going to be elderly, I think, in 2030. I haven't done the math yet, but I'm going to be coming here with a cane and my grandkids.
That was a great event. That was awesome.
I was there so much. I was there 5 days.
Tremendous.
I wish it was that, but I get it. They're exclusive. They're private. They're as private as can be. They didn't let Tom Brady in for the longest time.
Perfect U.S. Open venue, by the way. Just tough. I mean, tough but fair.
Long.
Like me.
Some long holes. Tough but fair.
Tough but fair.
You didn't ask me, by the way. I put it in my headlines. I birdied 3 holes at TPC River Highlands.
Congratulations.
But then you put it on, and they're like 20 under, and you're like, well, the winner's going to be 30 under, so not much of an accomplishment.
We get into something, actually, I think very important for us here locally with the PGA.
Oh, bring it back. Get it back.
Why is the only local tournament Connecticut? Which is not local.
It's not convenient.
Connecticut.
It's 2+ hours.
And I hear it's a great take.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love golf events are some of the best events to attend as a sports fan.
Closer to New York City than Boston, though.
Yeah. We
That's
can't be
the
doing
issue.
that. I'm not driving to Connecticut for anything.
The Norton event was fantastic.
It was.
People hate it. They hate the course. They say it's too... You go to that thing, they're all here. It's dynamite.
You want to talk about, too, from like a fan perspective. No problem getting in and out of Great Woods when they just shuttle you right over there, right?
Unless you wait for the end of the day, it gets a little heavy. The school
I
buses
was on the media shuttle, so
yeah, that's nice.
Not a problem there.
Primo.
Oh, big time.
I used to have the through the sports hub. We got like some really nice parking, primo parking.
It was
like for visitors.
Such
Nice.
an awesome event, and the fact that the PGA Tour is not Boston is the best sports city in America.
You cannot get a tee time within 2 hours of Boston on any weekend all summer.
And the fact that they have not come here since COVID, outside of the U.S. Open in 2020, which is a different thing altogether. That's not the PGA Tour.
That's the USGA.
USGA. The fact that we do not have a PGA event here.
And the commissioner was from here.
Yeah. Insane.
Screwed us.
And you know what? It is Norton. TPC Boston is not a tough enough course. You're telling me they can't make that course tougher? Put some money into it?
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes, they were looking to host the U.S. Open at Ponkapog. They sent people out to Ponkapog to give that a look. And,
when, in 1850?
No, I think this was in the last 15, 20 years. And they came back and they said, if you give us $100 million, we can give you 16 holes.
Figure the other 2 out on your own time. Head down to George Wright. Finish your round.
Tremendous course.
George Wright.
Who doesn't love George
My
Wright?
favorite course. I know that's not original.
No, it's... You telling me we
played
can't...
there with Matt McCarthy one time.
It's legendary.
I think we set the course record.
No, it did.
Most shots.
Shattered it.
I think
but
it's
seriously, where could they... I mean, if not Norton, where would it be?
The International hosted the Live event. They know they recently redid that one, so I'm not... if it hosted the Live event, you assume it could host a PGA event. I don't have a problem with Norton. It handled the event. Like maybe the course was too easy. You're right. You can always make things a little bit more challenging, but also look at this thing happening in Connecticut.
I thought 20 under.
It's going to take 10 under to win today. Either Hovland or Scheffler. One of them's going to go 10 under, and they're going to win.
Dustin Johnson won the last event at Norton at 30 under.
Yeah, that's what this will be. I think 30 is going to win today.
So what? It's one of the easier events in the. And you know what? If you don't want to make it a part of the playoffs, fine, whatever. It was great to have it on Labor Day weekend. That was awesome.
Into the Monday. I went every Sunday.
Oh, it was great.
I loved going.
It was
on Sunday.
awesome. So, but I get it.
Did you ever get the chalet tickets?
One time.
Food and drink. You just park it on 16 or 18.
Tremendous.
You do a walk for a few hours, catch everything you want to see, and then you just park it. Park the bus. You want to talk about parking the bus? Those were the
chalet.
days. Those were the days.
Sky
Chalet. Oh, that was living.
It's the only chalet they've ever let me into.
Probably the last.
Yeah. We'll continue. Matt McCarthy and Michael Hurley here on the Sports Hub.
Boston's home for sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Learning how to run the board. I love this. Picking the rejoins. Little Steely Dan for us. How about that? I feel like Steely Dan is one of those bands that you either love or hate.
I know Reeling in the Years. That's about it. I think I'm on the edge of middle age. I think once I cross that threshold, I'll dive in.
Wait a minute. You're on the edge of middle age?
I'm on the edge.
Hold on. You are 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
You're 40.
In about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I'll be 40.
Dude, I don't want to take us in a morbid direction here.
But I'll do it again.
You are definitively middle-aged.
But the numbers, I'm in my 30s, Matt. Just like you.
You want to do some math?
I'm in my 30s, just like I was 9.5 years ago.
Average age of the American male.
Oh, boy. Like death age?
No, average life expectancy.
Oh, boy.
Let's see. This according to AI overview.
Oh, brother. 76 and a half.
76 and a half. Roughly 4.9 years shorter than the average life expectancy of the American woman, which stands at 81.4. So, dude.
What if I live my life slightly less healthy than the average man?
So now we're talking, how many years are we cutting off there?
That's the question.
4 or 5 at this point? Is this like a hard 4 or 5?
I don't have the world's best body, I will say. Anytime I do anything.
I think you have a very chiseled physique over there.
I run into a lot of issues. Exercising, injuries.
Hold on,
backs. I've had back surgery. I had back surgery when I was 30.
Okay, not a great sign for you.
No,
not a good start.
I'm not one of the world's strongest men.
However, you do play
baseball.
Organized baseball.
Yeah,
at the age of 40.
Almost 40. I'm in my 30s.
You're a catcher.
I catch sometimes. I'm the backup guy. I spell the catcher.
Oh, so you're the emergency catcher.
Well, it's like this guy Dan on our team. He's catching the whole damn season. I'm like, dude, it's hot. He's 9-inning games.
He's old Haas Radborning the season.
And I just try to give him a little break from it. But like, make no mistake, when the playoffs begin, which by the way, we did win the championship last year, no big deal. When the playoffs begin, Dan will be catching every inning. I'm just there to sort of break it up a little.
Yeah, I mean, what if he gets hurt? I mean, you're behind the dish every day. Will your body
Let's
handle
not talk about such things, all right? Dan's going to never get hurt. I play everywhere. Third, left, center, right, just a second.
You're the Brock Holt of, what's your team name?
The Twins.
Okay.
Reigning champs.
Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
Yeah, well, it is.
We won at LeLasher. Oh, there's something else. The Spinners are back.
Welcome back.
We talk about we lost the golf tournament, but we got the Spinners back.
Can I trade the Spinners for the golf tournament?
Yeah, will
the PGA Tour accept that trade?
Well, let me get up there for a game first, and then I'll consider what we're dealing with. But I do miss the tournament greatly. We deserve it. It's a great Boston, right? And you get the U.S. Open. You got a bunch of jackals getting thrown out for being ridiculous out there, like actual taunts that are ridiculous to golf. They should be punished. Come back up, bring things back to Boston.
So you know what the World Cup has made me appreciate, as we talked about. It's the event that doesn't come along all the time. It's when it's being hosted in your backyard, that's pretty great. Like, to be able to take advantage of that, and I think it's one of the many reasons the prices are astronomical. I did just check the last minute ticket phase sale for tomorrow's Germany-Paraguay game.
I looked yesterday. It wasn't crazy.
What it wasn't crazy?
$650 to get in, I think, because these ones aren't planned, all those group ones are planned, so they plan their trips.
$650 to watch Paraguay is a tall ask at this point.
I guess
their style of play.
If you want to get in and watch a World Cup match, that's as good as you can do around here.
Thank God I did it with the Norway game. I mean, I took one look at it. I said, this probably is the only game I even have a chance to get into, and I'm glad I did. Because right after that, really, it was right after, I think, the first Scotland game that, people were like, this is a cool environment.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go. I am going to do the once-in-a-lifetime spend kind of thing to go to these games. But you can get in for $650.
Yesterday, I haven't checked it today. I don't know if any Germans have purchased any flights or if they're it's tough. Let's say you are German and you really want to go cheer on your German national team. Do you do it for the round of 32?
Not against Paraguay.
Yeah, you got to wait till the next one.
Right, but you don't, I guess they would now know where that game would be. I will say it's probably the only thing that we're not great at for hosting the World Cup. Like, you hear these stories about, like, Germany in 2006. It's like, oh, hey, I just scored tickets to the game in Munich tomorrow. I'm just going to hop on the train. Like, you get a hotel
Can't get
room.
to Kansas City tomorrow.
You can't get to Kansas City tomorrow.
It's a big country. It's a big continent, really. You can't get to Guadalajara from here either. But I did say we all fell in love with the Scots, right? They did a great
They
job.
were tremendous.
And then the English rolled in. And we had a little bit of a get out of here.
Yeah.
They didn't like us. We didn't like them. Fair enough. I do have to agree. I saw a Englishman tweet from MetLife saying this stadium is complete garbage. I can't believe the finals here. I got to agree with him there.
Of all the stadiums we could hold the final at,
It's
I
the
agree.
worst
It's
one.
the worst one.
Well, Kansas City, I guess, is just sort of old and dumpy, but like that, they all look great with natural grass. First of all.
They do.
They look
oh
beautiful.
my God, it's tremendous. And the owners can't wait to tear up that grass.
Yep. It
oh my
looks so
God.
good, except for MetLife, which just the most dreary, just personalityless. Just if you could just build a Lego stadium, it would look like MetLife. And so definitely an odd choice for the final, but who knows what goes into that? Money.
It's New York. So, I mean,
Is it?
it's not New York.
Is
it's
it?
New
It's East
Jersey.
Rutherford, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah. I get why they want to be able to say, we're holding the World Cup final in New York, the greatest city in the world, like that.
What's wrong with LA? What's wrong with Dallas?
Yeah, LA is LA.
Atlanta's a beautiful stadium. I get you don't want the final in Atlanta. No juice.
I mean, from a history perspective, the final should be at Azteca in Mexico City. I mean, that is
Great venue.
That is that would be like a sports bucket list item to like see a game at Azteca.
Then you get altitude situation too.
Big time altitude situation.
Which is a nice little storyline.
Throw that on top of it.
Is it too late to change it?
You want to know what the get-in price right now for the World Cup final is?
$18,000.
Oh, not that much.
Okay.
$10,600.
Good Lord. And people, I mean, the secondary market is what it is. I'm sure it'll come down, but people will spend thousands of dollars to attend 1-2 hours. It's terrible bang for your buck.
Yeah.
These matches are so short. Terrible bang for your. They're like a modern day Red Sox Yankees game now.
Oh yeah, no, 223. I mean, we'll play if the World Cup final goes to kicks, we'll play that in 2 hours 30 minutes, something like that.
The kicks will take about.
Kicks
an
are
hour.
tremendous.
Yeah, I was here with Barth. I'm pretty sure when the Premier League went. The
when
Champions
the League went to kicks.
I was shouting,
dude. Kicks. Some people hate penalty kicks. I think it's the greatest theater in all of sports.
Italy, France, dude. Italy,
2000.
France.
That's what got me into it. 2006.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, Zidane didn't get red carded, right?
No, he did get red carded.
He did.
He got red carded.
Oh, okay.
He got sent. And the
I thought he
best part
didn't.
the best part about that is if you get red carded in the World Cup final, they make you walk past the World Cup on your way to. They literally put it on the side.
Yeah.
It's like the whole the cups in the building kind of thing, and then they show it on TV. No, imagine putting the Stanley Cup.
Center, I get the penalty box.
Where Ray Ferraro stands, no, that's where we put the Stanley Cup. It's this is what you guys are playing for. And you got to look at it the whole game. And if you get sent off, we make you walk past it.
He should have stolen it.
The drama and just that exists in that sport. Because the thing about kicks, too, is these guys are the best in the world. They've been kicking that stupid ball their whole life. But they make you walk across the entire field.
With 80,000 people shouting.
Just to make you think about it. And you can see how big that net is. You can see how tiny the stupid little soccer ball is. And how easy it would be to put it at any point in the net. Even if the goalie guesses right, you can just hit it so hard that it'll deflect past him and into the net.
Very hard to miss. That guy on Arsenal might have kicked it out of the stadium.
Because they make you walk across and think about it. It's the best moment in all of sports. No, just think. Just let it get in your head. Just a little bit. Just think what would happen if you missed. You can see, the guys who shake their heads no, I won't do it. I won't step up for my country. It's the best. It's the greatest drama in all of sports. Who has the balls to step up and take a kick and who doesn't? Because sometimes your best players are I want nothing to do with this.
It's necessary. We hate the shootout in hockey. We hate 3-on-3.
End the game.
At the end of, 120 minutes, you can no longer play the sport of soccer. You have to do something else.
No, it's so true. And this is a conversation for another day, Hurley. When the sport becomes not the sport. Really, soccer at about 110 minutes, 115 minutes, guys
Fatigue,
are like,
yeah,
we're done. We're not going to find a winner here. We're resigned to the fact that we need kicks.
Here's a soccer enthusiast, not educated fan question. If you are subbed out during the game, can you partake in kicks?
No, you cannot.
Oh, so there's the added strategy element where like you could lose.
Yep.
No more golden goal, right?
No more golden goal.
I like the golden goal.
If you want, Ryan Garvin, if you want to hear one of the great soccer stories of all time, I want you to just Google Golden Goal Caribbean Cup 1994 and the insanity that was. They would give you an extra point if you won golden goal. This is one of the great stories in all of sports. So because the way the point system worked, one of the teams needed to play for a tie. So they needed the game to be tied in regulation so they could try to get the golden goal to advance.
Did they give up a late goal on purpose?
No, the game devolved into a situation where neither team where teams were trying to score on both nets but also defend both nets. And that's the chaos that happened. Just Google it. 1994 Caribbean Cup Golden Goal. You'll see a whole story on it. It's tremendous.
All
Just
right.
like working with you, Michael Hurley.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
It's already 2:00.
It's 2:00. I got to go.
All right.
Bye.
Have a nice 4th.
You know what? I will have a great 4th of July.
Next time you see me, I'll be 40.
Happy birthday. And just, again, mathematically, whether you're 40 or not, 39 or 40,
wait.
you are very middle-aged.
What was the average male life expectancy in 1986? Because we're talking about...
you got to base it on
it's
that.
going to change. It was 71.1. What did you say it is now?
It's
72 point something?
76.
So I'm buying years in the coming decades. So don't worry about me. I'm going to live forever.
You know what? You're not middle-aged now. Mathematically, you are now on the cusp.
Well, no, because now we're living longer.
Right. So, because you're 40, you're going to live till you're like 85
I'm
now.
never going to die.
It's true.
I'm never even going to turn 40.
I'm very happy about that. Alex Barth, the immortal Alex Barth, is coming your way next. He's Michael Hurley. I'm Matt McCarthy. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Ryan Garvin. We're out of here. See ya.